Hello, everybody, and welcome to Marquee Gaming today as we get ready for our 89th session of Mythical
Wow.
Mishaps.
Yeah.
It is crazy. We are there, quickly approaching 100, which is, I don't know, 2-year-old campaign now, too. We just celebrated the 2-year-old anniversary of Mishaps. Pretty exciting to back and get ready to get into our session today. So thanks for being here. Appreciate you. We're gonna start with our intros of the characters and players. So Rachel, take it away.
Hi. We haven't
Hi.
done this in a week, so now I'm like, how do I do this? I'm Rachel, also known as Pip. You can find me on Instagram at Pip400art, where I post my art. I also do art streams here, Mondays at 3:30 CST. So definitely come chill with me tomorrow. I still have lots of commissions to figure out, so you guys can all keep me company while I try and get those done. I play Eleonora in this game. She is a level 7 ASMR warlock. And yeah, doesn't like being cold, but at least everyone has some top tier fashion right now. So that's important.
Yeah.
And I feel like question of the day, since we were talking about it earlier, and chat, feel free to answer on your end too, is what food do you love that's kind of like a gross food?
How much time do we have?
Yeah. The problem is I know I have some, but I can't think of any. So you might have to come back to me. Unless Mark is like, oh, I have one that I watch you eat all the time that's gross. But
I have to think about it, I think.
Yeah, I know. I have to think about mine. So come back to me.
Okay. We'll pass it on to Kelly then.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kelly. I was gonna say Eleanor. I don't play Eleanor. I play Winnie, the level 6 monk and level 1 cleric. I was gonna say druid. I've been playing Baldur's Gate and other D&D, so I feel like my classes are all mixed up. And gross food. I have a lot of gross foods. Well, I'll do the one I just mentioned. I really like sloppy joes because obviously I love hot dogs. I like sloppy joes, and also I do get pizza once a week. So that's I don't know if that's considered gross. I think everyone likes pizza though. That's but it so it can be gross because it depends on the types of pizza. Because if it's really greasy, then you feel gross. So it depends on what pizza. I think there's levels, but I'd say sloppy joes is my gross food that I still really like that we had in childhood. But I'm trying to think for you. I don't even do you because I'm usually the one who eats gross stuff. So I don't know.
The controversial one for Rachel is she likes pineapple on her pizza. Some people are very
That's
against
true.
that.
People do get mad
some
at me
people-
about it, but
I
support
there's
you.
whole
thank
types
you.
of pizza though.
I
Like that
still
have
feel like
that.
I have not met somebody who actually cares if you put pineapple on pizza though. Like everyone says that there's a bunch of people out there. I don't think I've met somebody. So if you are that person,
Oh, I've gotten hate.
Oh, I
for
met a lot of
sure.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never met
Mhm.
somebody who's gotten mad at me for having pineapple on it. So shout out in the chat if you are a hater of
Mad
pineapple.
about that.
What
You
I
know
found
what
though,
is
it's a
bad?
texture thing though, not a taste thing. From what I found out, typically.
Or people don't like fruit on pizza, I guess, too. Unless it's a
True.
fruit pizza.
Well, here, I'll say this. I would get this reaction a lot. Like people thought it was gross, even though I felt like it wasn't. But for a while there, whenever I'd have pizza, I would order chicken and mushrooms on my pizza, and I thought it was the best combo. And a lot of people were like, "What? Why?" And so maybe that's gross. If it is, I'll accept it.
Do you want to hear an actually gross pizza that we accidentally ordered the other day? It was, for some reason, I don't know how, because Derek was doing the thing on his phone, and somehow he selected, I don't know how, we got a pizza that showed up and it had peppers and mushrooms, no sauce, and a different weird type of cheese, and we're like, and normally peppers and stuff would be fine, but the no sauce really the sauce is required.
Pizza at that point.
Yeah, I was just it wasn't even cheesy bread either. It was gross. It was not good.
Yeah. We'll pass it on to our third player tonight, which is Ashley.
Hello, I'm Ashley. I also make art. I have some stuff up on Instagram right now if you want to go check it out. That has been fun to talk about. I'm playing Euphemia tonight. She's our human druid. She's very sad all the time. She's pretty sad that Dav is sad right now, I think. but also relieved that it looks like we may actually survive to make it to Icewall. I mean, maybe still too soon to say, even though we're only a couple hours away. However, it's looking promising. So she feels okay about that. I don't know. I feel like, okay, so I love Sloppy Joes growing up. I don't know if I would still like them now, but I do really like meatloaf, and I know some people have really strong feelings about meatloaf.
I have not tried meatloaf in a long time. I when I was younger, I had like the green ketchup that I was really obsessed with, and because my mom was like mad about it, so she to make sure I didn't like it anymore, she made green meatloaf, and I'll never forget that.
Yes.
And so
My
like,
mom did that too.
but is it?
Ew.
Yeah, it's gross. But wait, okay, what kind of meat do you like? Do you make your own meatloaf, or do you get like restaurants? I don't
Yeah.
really know if I've seen meatloaf.
I always make it
places.
myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I feel
It's
like
probably
less
good if you make it
ingredients
yourself.
is better. And if you do like a nice gravy or a nice like homemade sauce on top,
Okay.
it can be really good. And like cold meatloaf the next day, like meatloaf sandwiches I grew up eating, so good. Those were really the stuff.
I've never even know that was a thing.
You have to use the right bread though. It's like the cheap wheat bread that's super soft. So good. Very, very nostalgic. I would probably still kill one of those. I feel like I would still like it.
Yes.
And then our final player tonight, we have Mike.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mike, also known as Bardic Dice here on all the socials. I was going to do a sitcom intro, but then I kind of recorded from that. The energy kind of got lost before I decided to do that. I was going to do like a turn, like, hey there. Yeah, don't really have any announcements. Part of the tavern. If I ever do anything there, you'll see notifications there. And sometimes I like to stir the pot and ask weird things like our hot dog sandwiches. So, you guys can talk about that in the chat if you want. I'm trying to think. Lately, Kelly's kind of inspired me. I do this thing. It's not hot dog buns. It's regular bread. I microwave some hot dogs. I don't even make chili. I just get a can of chili, and I microwave that. But I do use a bowl. Rachel's guilted me into using a bowl and not
really
Tupperware. Yeah,
for doing that.
pretty good.
Growing up.
And then I just put cheese on top. So I've been eating that. A weird thing is, ever since a kid, my dad would eat like Chef Boyardee stuff out of the can cold, and to this day I'll like eat soup out of the can to save like from getting a bowl, and I don't heat it up. So that's a really gross thing that a lot of people
That
are
stresses
like.
me out.
Okay.
That makes me
So-
sad.
Does it
Yeah.
taste okay? Like
Yeah,
I feel
it
like the
tastes
taste
delicious.
would be awful.
I got this weird thing that I sometimes when it's not hot, I feel like I can taste more, and like I don't like waiting for things to cool down when it's hot.
Oh.
Yep, made Vicks lurk. Sorry, running people away.
I got out.
I'm out.
I'm leaving.
Then the only other thing I can really think of is as a kid, I would always take like pork or like chicken, and weirdly, I was addicted to applesauce, and I'd always like dip it in applesauce and like eat that together for some reason. So I don't know if that's a gross thing or not, but oh yeah, I played Davril. He's a thing. Level 7 human artificer, singer wizard, and he's home and he's sad. And I want to know what's in the thing. I gotta know, Mark. This intro's going really long.
I mean,
I'm done.
what do you guys do?
I gotta know.
You
Gotta
missed
be
your
there.
chance. Who knows?
I know.
But I'm Mark. Oh yeah, there's a link to the Discord in the chat if you want to join that if you haven't already. But yeah, I'm Mark. I'm the dungeon master, and I don't know, gross thing that I eat. Rachel, do you have something that comes to mind?
The only you have one? I have one, but
I know I like when I eat fried egg sandwiches, I like to put ketchup on it. I don't know. Some people think that's weird, but I don't know if that's the worst thing in the world.
Normal.
Thumbs up. Okay.
I don't even know
the
what-
only thing I was thinking of is when there was that first year we were married and you were really sick and throwing up all day, and I was trying to like figure out something to get you to help like ease your stomach, like saltines or something, and then you were like, I want apple pie.
Yeah. I had a real specific craving at that moment that was
Nice.
like only
Nice.
apple pie will be what satisfies me.
Like
at
you've
this
spent all day throwing up and now you want an apple pie. What?
point. Yes.
Or like when Karen and I were on that cruise and they were like throwing up all day in our room, and they said they woke up from like a hazy like illness thing, and I was just eating cheesecake, and I was like, for some reason, they're like, why would you eat that right now? For some reason, it just was, I don't know. Apparently, I didn't notice the
comforting.
smell. I just wanted cheesecake.
So
I don't know.
funny.
So good.
We have a stream coming up on Saturday here on this channel, and it's going to be our St. Jude Children's Research Hospital mega stream. We're part of this mega stream with Lord Gasumba and the whole Greyhawk community that's going on, where they do an annual fundraiser and they try to raise a bunch of money to support St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. And I think the goal last year was like 26,000 or something, 27,000, somewhere around there. That's what they got last year, and they want to beat that this year. So,
Nice.
if you guys want to show up, you can show up. If you want to donate, you can donate. It'd be great to see you. It's going on, I think, from Thursday till Sunday over a bunch of channels, but our section is 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. CST on Saturday. If you'd like to come support and say hi, you can join us there. So great to see you and raise money, help the children.
And then you can ride the raid train to all the other streams
Yes.
too, if you feel like just watching D&D all day. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of really cool channels
I'm
involved.
pretty sure
so
Lord
it'll be
Gasum's
fun.
in the morning. If you follow him, you can check him out in the morning and then raid into us, and then we'll raid into the next person, and we'll keep going. Great to have you. If not, it's okay too. You guys. Some people are busy on that time slot, so. But why don't we get started with our session by getting into our intro, and then we can see if we can satisfy Mike's desire to find out what's inside.
I gotta know what's
That
in the
building.
box, man.
See. Hello, everyone. We are back and ready to begin our session today. Let me get my music on as we are going to get into our recap here. Last time we were together, weeks ago, the Horde Hunters are in the cold, frigid north of the continent, and they faced off against a frost giant and a Remoraz that was after them. That Remoraz and frost giant were going to make quick work of the party, it seemed like, in that moment. So, thankfully, they were able to keep each other conscious, and especially Dav, who was the only person who could understand the frost giant and communicate with him.
That's dangerous.
And Dav was able to kind of talk down the frost giant allowed them to live. Like, I'll leave you out here to die in the cold. So Frost Giant and Remoraz went off. Party, glad to be alive, continued to the east until they found themselves actually close to Dav's old encampment. Dav's.
Well, it is
Old-
Dad's old encampment too, to be honest.
It was his dad's old
R.I.P.
encampment too.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they found it, and they were they went up to a cave that's kind of overlooking it, with meaning to Dav there, and Dav and Euphemia went down into the encampment together, with Ira following behind. And as they were doing that, they felt like a strange magical ping of conjuration magic within the leader's hut, but they did not investigate further. They looked around a little bit more. They went into the library and they found a hidden note from Arizini, mentioning that they had left. They decided that that was going to be the end of their investigation for the evening, and headed back up to the cave to sleep that evening. You guys completed your long rest. You will be waking up the following morning. Is the 20th. That's where we're going to begin with the advantage dice for Mike, Ashley, Kelly, and Rachel. All of you got your advantage die to start the session off.
Thank you.
And we're going to raise mishap level, of course. Those.
Oh yeah.
Way to start the morning, raising that mishap level. And a chat blessing to Ashley.
Thanks.
So, what would you all like to do this morning as Ira is standing there, watch over you all?
I forgot you don't sleep. Like staring at it, looking at him.
Does he need charged or is he like fine?
Well, it's definitely been a little bit of a night. We should probably charge him up.
Before we do, I can go cast Goodberry and see if we can maybe, you know, just in case something happens.
You can go head first if you like.
I'll go a little ways out of the cave probably and cast it.
Ira
He turns
begins to
to iron.
follow you a little bit.
Like if
That
you would
just good.
wait here a second so I don't accidentally catch you in a mishap, Ira, I promise I'll stay in sight. Just like walking, not like around the corner or anything. Like I'll just stay.
So as long as you're within sight, he
Yeah.
scanning and looking.
Ira, it's on record. I'm calling it. It's the stink mishap. Just saying. He just turns to you as if I get this on video.
Oh my God.
No mishap.
Uh-oh.
I was waiting for you to say.
Well, that's all right. Okay, so you each get 2, which means you can keep 1 for later. But if I see you feed 1 to Micah, I will give you an extra, Dev.
You see him halfway up. Puts it back in his pocket.
All
He
right.
doesn't need to be fed.
All right.
He's a pavilion. He just likes them.
I will then swap out with Euphemia to do mage armor.
All right. Lucky you. You're almost guaranteed a mishap with the extreme level here.
I know, I saw
Well,
that.
There's
Sorry.
a slim chance of it not happening, but
Hey,
unlikely.
Ira.
That's
Her feet getting stuck in the ground.
right. Feet getting stuck in the ground on this mishap. Let's see what happens.
What?
Does
Dad's
just-
calling
just
a shot now.
Predicting that.
Right. Well, your spell fails.
Oh, that's interesting.
No
Okay.
mage armor for you. All right. So you do feel a bit of luck upon you, though. You get an extra reroll for the next hour.
Oh, nice.
We're on the weirdest roll of positive mishaps. Terrifying. Which reminds me, do I don't have the bonus to wisdom, right? Anymore?
No, that's gone.
Okay. But I still have a +1 that is permanent. Did we talk about we
Yeah,
talked about this last
-1
time, right?
that was perfect.
-1. That's right, because it went up 2. Yeah. Thank you. That drastically changes all my stats.
Yes. Yeah, your mage armor failed, and
Okay.
it's the way this like blessing works too. It's you can reroll it, but you have to use the new roll, not choose the higher
Sure. Okay.
new roll.
I'll do it again because I can just cast it at will.
Okay.
It doesn't take up a spell slot, so.
Recasting.
Turn into a doll.
All right. No mishap on this one.
I love the mockumentary editing in my head of like you're watching her cast the spell and the camera pans over to Dav just going, turn into a doll. Like right next.
Just it gets used to it.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Bari having to watch this.
Oh yeah, we can make it miserable for her. It'll be great.
Idiots. All right, I come back.
One of these days it is gonna happen, guys.
All right. So, what are we thinking when it comes to what we do here before we leave? And we had the night to think about it.
Well, I mean, if you guys are still supportive of it, I'd like to figure out what's pinging that conjuration. It wasn't the founder's hut.
I thought of something else, Stavro. I was trying to think of like no, I think this we can make this work.
Okay.
Don't wilt like a flower. I promise it will.
Just so excited that like you were finally on board when I wasn't, and then I thought you were about to shoot me down.
No, but I was thinking, we don't know send us back yet, but there was one of the times when you had made contact in Hunrix. So maybe you don't touch it. If whatever it is, let one of us touch it. In case it triggers something. Would that be acceptable?
Maybe. Depends on what it is. Probably.
Not a reassuring answer, Dev.
I'm just saying, probably sure. I mean, I might want to once I see it, but you know, most likely be fine with it.
That's why I say it beforehand, yes, because
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure the inclination would be to pick it up and try and study it. I also have identify, so
The aforementioned cautiousness for the action at hand is acceptable, Miss Eleanor.
So I think that hopefully may mitigate something. I don't know. I mean, I've been trying to think all night of patterns, and I still can't find any. So
Same.
it
So one of us
seems.
touch instead. Okay.
Yes, I think.
If it even,
Or even use a cloth or something. I don't know.
if it's even something we end up touching, I guess it depends.
It's
Right?
very true. It may be too big to take with us, or it may. We don't know. We can be we just have to be careful, I think, is all. I mean,
I agree.
And anything we feel like might push it, we just need to check in with each other, I think, which we have been doing. It's been a lovely system, but just for that to continue, I think.
I think we can proceed with caution and peek.
I'll still bring up detect magics to be sure, in case
Sure.
anything did change.
That's a good idea.
All right. I lose weight. I'm gonna go off and ritually cast detect magic.
Do we need to charge him, or do you want to
Charge him.
wait?
Mm.
Let's see, but-
What level? I only have level 1 spells, but I can do it if anyone. I didn't say that. Like, I have only small spells. I don't know what we equivalent to level 1 in this world. I would say that.
Well, I mean, if Eleanor does it and we take an hour while we're prepping before we get on the road, we should be back at full. Might be an idea.
Yeah, I can at least do one. That's all right. Yeah, and Winifred, I mean, you have just a little magic, so we wouldn't want to waste that on this unless we really need it, I think.
Okay,
But
just
thank you
wanted
for
to offer
offering.
it.
So are you charging up your 4th level slot, Rich? You roll for your mishap chance.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Animals don't like her.
You get a mishap. Did you ever recast
Yay!
mage armor too?
Yeah, and I went through.
Oh, went through.
You
It
rolled
worked
it
the
and
second
everything.
time.
Yes. You do get a mishap this time. See if animals will end up not liking you.
Maybe they'll love me.
Oh, this is like my new favorite game.
Is guessing.
The mini game in the game.
Me and Dad are really enjoying this. Distracting him.
Rachel, need you to do me a favor.
Yes, my darling husband. What favor do you need?
Flattery will get you nowhere.
Roll me a D12.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay.
That's the amount of gold you get.
this is
depending on what you roll.
terrifying.
6.
6. As you cast this spell into Ira, you watch as he gets charged up. There's a burst of energy around you with the mishap as well. And suddenly, your mind is filled with symbols and words that you had never really heard much before, or if you had, you didn't really understand them. As you now have the ability to speak Dwarvish.
Oh.
What? Like permanently?
Not permanently.
Oh, dang it.
Oh.
You just feel like this presence in your
Whoa.
mind of all this like Dwarven script and words in your head.
I kind of blink and then I'll say like, well, this is strange in Dwarvish and see if it like comes out right with like the right pronunciation and stuff.
And does anybody else speak Dwarvish?
No.
That no one
No.
understands her.
Anyone does.
Uh-oh.
That sounded rude.
Are you
Oh.
are you alright?
Can you speak normally or only?
Oh yes, no, it's not that one mishap,
Okay.
but I can speak Dwarvish for the moment.
Oh, that's
Randomly.
exciting.
Yes. But
Cool.
I'm assuming no one else can speak it. So doesn't impress anyone, but that's all right.
Are we far
Very
away from you?
interesting.
Kind of? Are we like, because we stood further away? Are we all together still? I can't remember what you said.
I usually take everyone like, you know, if it's like
Okay.
30 feet, you know, whatever. So
Oh, okay. Like, Ira, do you speak Dwarvish? Was the answer.
Huh?
Does he? I asked Ira if he speaks Dwarvish.
oh, Ira. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you speak Dwarvish?
He just looks at you and get one thing.
Let's see.
Does he?
If a robot can look irritated, he looks irritated.
That's
He
how we
always
talk around him.
His resting, irritated face.
Yeah.
He will nod that he does.
Hmm.
Act no dwarvish.
Wow.
Oh, very nice.
That's fun. That was a better mishap to get. That's fun.
What other languages do you speak, Ira?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. 25.
Okay.
Ooh.
He says, I know Celestial, Common, Conic, Dwarvish, Elvish, Gnomish, Halfling, and Primordial.
That is a very impressive list.
I just say, too bad you don't know this one. And an Infernal. No. I don't think you like that one.
Thank you for sharing that with us. That is good to know. I'm sure he just still stares.
He just stands there. Yeah.
Hey,
all right.
Eleonora,
Yes.
how do you say in Dwarvish, all right, let's get schlonking on today? And like let's schlonk on to adventure, you know? It's a new phrase.
What
It-
is that a
Never
word
heard
you
that.
just made up? What is that?
It's like an ice wall thing, like to get ready for the day, you know, like
If that's a word you made up, I can't say it in Dwarvish.
you can do the syllables.
The whole like someone's like speaking different languages, like fried rice. Just like,
Exactly.
All they have is that. Yeah, that word.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, schlonking along. Remember, like, that's so crazy.
I remember when there was like this person that could speak like fluent Spanish as a kid, and I went up and I was like, "How do you say my name in Spanish?" And then he just said Rachel, and I was like, "Oh," it was like it's not like a different way to do it. It kind of has that same vibes right now.
I don't know, maybe like the magic would take over and just translate it for you. That's kind of what I was. All right, let's just go.
I'll just say in Dwarvish, "Let's get going." I don't use that strange phrase.
I don't think that's right.
I just
That
looked it
sounds
up.
too short.
According to Urban Dictionary, slonkin is based on the level of intoxication that someone has.
There we go.
I'm
Yeah.
schlonk,
Schlonk,
call
like
me a
you're drunk.
cab. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
You know, Dav is like kind of sheltered homeschool boy, though. I could totally see him like coining a phrase that actually means something else the whole time.
Yeah, I heard the founder say it one time. I don't really know what they meant by it. I just thought it was a fun name, fun word, but I didn't.
That was fun.
I mean, that's against policy. I didn't know they. I don't know they partook. Good to know.
All right, are we ready?
Sure.
Mhm.
So Dav finishes his ritual cast, and let's roll for his chance of miss.
Yeah, lose weight.
My dice. You
The
do
robes
get a
are tight.
mishap. And
You never took off the corset.
He totally did.
oh,
He
that
lost
very
does
it.
reminds
Weird.
me. That does remind me.
Chilly.
It is the next morning.
Mhm.
Oh.
So all of you had the clothing that was transformed into Eleonora's. All reverts back to normal. Dav, yours is all cut up because you,
Just
Oh,
the
no.
underwear. Just
Cut-
the underwear.
okay, your underwear is
Yes.
all cut up.
Nope.
You like something like uncomfortable. Like, what's wrong? Nothing.
He's got
Wrong.
spares. He's got a few, but yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's gonna need some stitching.
Dav, you went off by yourself for your
Later.
casting, or did you cast it nearby everybody?
About like 30 feet. Same.
Okay.
You gotta like switch spots with Rachel, with Eleanor. He traveled all the way.
You make me a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
12.
12?
Yep.
Your spell DC?
14.
As you cast that, a fireball
Did I
explodes
reroll?
upon you.
No, again! No!
I knew Fireball one when you said the DC.
Oh my god.
And you take 20 points of fire damage.
Oh my goodness. Why do we get that one so often? Are you alright,
I don't know.
Davril?
It's just my pride.
Yeah.
Ira's just staring you down as this is happening.
I didn't lose any weight.
I'll
I
I'll
pop
go-
in and
I'll heal him.
I go
I'll
ahead
walk
and
over
eat
to
one of
you.
my good berries that I hadn't eaten yet.
I'll walk over to you, and cast your wounds. We'll do 3rd level.
3rd level.
Oh, what if
Okay.
what happens again?
We'll only do it one time. If it doesn't work, we're done healing each other. Eleanor calls.
There's no
Fireballs out.
mishap on that one.
There we go.
This is the energy of missing a week for sure.
It really is.
Have a
Okay.
big dose of mishaps right before we get going.
12
Yep.
back to you.
Thanks.
Just
Oh,
in case you need to be a little bit more healed up before we go down
it's so bizarre going from playing at 2024 where like the healing's like double now to like hearing a 3rd level's 12.
there. Well, I rolled really bad too, so
Yeah,
it doesn't help.
it's just funny. Yeah, Cure Wounds is like 2d8 per level. Wild.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fancy.
I know.
All right. So you have your detect magic up for what, 10 minutes?
Yep.
What you guys doing?
Head
Uh,
down.
Slow down,
probably if we
guys.
can get a look around before we go down, just to see if anything's changed. I might even ask you, Femia, because I
idea.
know she's good at looking for that stuff.
Go ahead and roll perception.
Alrighty. I'm gonna use my bless.
Yep.
That's better. Hold on, I forgot my book. Oh, 13.
All right. So, I mean, you're surveying it now, and you had dark vision last night. Now it's morning, sun's out. So you're kind of looking around, and it seems slightly different perspective-wise, kind of the colors and everything. But it is a lot of stone and snow, so it is black and white for the most part. Little dots of color here and there. But you don't really notice anything that stands out to you as different. Kind of surveying everything.
Okay. Is it like, what's the weather like today? Is it like really sunny or is it more overcast or?
It's fairly sunny today.
All right, interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll just look out there and kind of squint for a little bit and be like, it looks normal. It looks the same as last night from what I can tell. If you want, I can shape ahead of us a little ways and sneak a bit, but I don't really see any reason to unless we get up there and there's more tracks than we remember.
Also, I got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
True. Yes, we can just
So
go.
I think we can just go. Be watchful.
Bye, guys.
That's
I
fine.
want to make the fireball worth it.
Yeah. No kidding.
So you begin to walk down cliffside toward the encampment. And there's a bit of a breeze that's blowing through, snow kind of flying across around. The cold is definitely hitting you all as you leave the safety and the warmth of having your fire in the cave. Very quiet. Kind of the sound of the wind blowing, the flapping of some of the banners that still hanging. Not much sound besides that.
And this is the first time me and Winnie have been here. So
Yeah.
I'm like looking around at everything, almost like trying to envision like maybe what it was like when, you know, it was active.
Yeah, a lot of the stonework is damaged, crumbled places. Places show obvious burning wood stacks that were built and houses.
And we recognize like early on the ground, like we can kind of see the footprints of like people recognize. It's like we recognize the footprints in the ground.
Like
There's no like
our
new ones or
footprints?
fresher ones. Yeah.
That's what I'd be
Um,
looking for.
Yeah, I mean, you just see kind of the one. There is a little bit of the snow, like that's been blowing around, that's covering up a little bit. So, but you don't see anything that looks out of the norm from what you'd expect.
Okay.
You head in.
Did
Yes.
was there any like main spots of the town that Dav didn't feel like he got a chance to cover last night? I know it's a pretty small area.
Yeah, it's not super big. The primary location would be the library, where most of the studying took place. That's where a lot of the teaching would happen. There's the leader's hut. There was a section that's kind of for housing that kind of wraps around a lot of it. There would just be kind of general stores, warehouses, goods, and that scattered about.
I think this time he's going to begin to kind of go past like the regular stores area just to see if it pings anything that was left here. And then he wants to actually go inside if he can, or whatever's left. Maybe try and get a little deeper where his house was to see if he might be able to find anything, or even just see what's left there for like in the day, and then timing it where he'd end up around the founder's hut near the end of it.
As you wander kind of around the backside of where last time, there's not really anything that picks up. Like a lot of these buildings are crushed or destroyed.
Mhm.
There's really nothing of note that stands out to you. Nothing pings.
Does it look like there's any room at where he lived to be able to go in and get any sort of memento, or is it pretty crushed there?
So as you, make your way around, it looks like some of these places have been at least partially picked through, like especially where rubble could have been cleared. It looks like if there is a spot that is accessible, it has been removed. Like the stones have been piled up off to the side, and like things have been kind of scoured through in general. And then when you get to your house is just it was largely made of wood, so it is mostly burned down, right? And it's unlikely that there'd be much that survived the fire. And there's nothing that is apparent.
Yeah.
If anything was picked out of it, who knows? But
Cool.
If he's, are you like lingering near that house in particular at all, or?
Yeah, they're probably a little more like kicking his feet around and trying to, he's thinking about like certain markings on like the wall that he might have thought of, or like wood, but then realizing it's all burnt down and just kind of seeing that. And then that's where he would have left his tool, or recently around there where he left his sword. So like he'd probably take that up and kind of make sure that's stuck in there somewhere, a little bit more secure. Well, he's not afraid of making sound.
go ahead and plant that sword.
Was this place important to you?
Sorry, it's not better to host you guys, but this is my home. What's left of it.
Did it look like it was like kind of big, or does it look smaller?
All the houses are not super big houses. They're all kind of modest, simple homes.
And he kind of points back to the stores. He goes, that's the jeweler's, actually, where I learned most of my techniques. And there's the community hall where we all would practice and study and do all that. And then over here. It's got the founders' huts, and they're like a separate building where the stone and artifacts were held as well.
That would have been at the founder's hut.
Yeah, like in that area. That's it's actually where they used to keep the stone. I'll show you guys the library on the way out. My favorite part.
It looks like this was a nice place to grow up in.
Yeah.
From what I can imagine.
Life was easy here. Simple. Minus the bullies. But even then, they're not as bad as ice giants. He just
I just
starts
kind of
like,
put my hand on his back, like, just like kind of a show of support. There's not like words, that
Yeah.
you can say at a time like this, but
just kind of nods and just seems like he's still emotional, but not nearly as much as he was last night. Maybe a little. I mean, in a different way, just because it's daylight and seeing things more. But
Sure. Yeah.
I think he's also probably not showing it as much. I think Euphemia probably saw a pretty raw version of it.
Right.
Okay, just kind of nods and then presses forward, almost like he's giving a tour to you guys.
Yeah.
But I think as well as you see, Mark, you said there's a pile up here, right?
There's a pile kind of off to the side of where the leader's hut is. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Pound of stone.
And you said, was it clear that it was like burnt as well? Like potentially bodies were put there as well and burnt, or I couldn't remember.
Best guess, this is like a burial site.
Yeah.
Put them underneath the stone.
Like a grave.
Yeah. Also, he's letting Mike come fly around as he's doing this.
Okay.
But then he'll put his focus on the hut and see if that ping's still there.
Yeah, once you get within 30 feet, that ping appears again of conjuration magic.
Any signs that anything's open, changed, footprints?
You don't notice any footsteps going up to the door. The windows are all shuttered, closed. The door is closed. There's not locks on the door or anything. Closed up tight.
And does it feel like it's one? Like, I don't know how accurate detect magic would be. Does it feel like it's one object inside, or like like how he does alarm? Like if it's any sort of
Yeah, you get it from one
ongoing thing
location.
like around the room.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
at one
okay.
location. There's like it would be like for alarm, it's an area of an effect that you would sense.
Yeah, right.
Whereas this is just in one spot. There's an area or something that's pinging conjuring. And it's
It's
not
ready.
moving, it's stationary.
shall we be overly cautious and have someone else go in first?
No, I don't want to risk that. I'll go in.
I
I'll let you guys
go in
touch it.
first. I don't know.
I appreciate you guys, but if anything does go off, I don't want it to be you.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
Fair enough.
if
Yeah.
the bigger picture of everything.
All right. Be careful.
I can go in first.
Plus, it's against the rules to go in anyway. I kind of smiles a little bit.
Rule breaking today. Look at
Huh?
you go.
You're not part of the cult, so it's not rule breaking anything.
Guess not. Yeah, I guess Winnie will kind of start to try and open the door, I guess. It was...
Yeah, you try the door and handle turns.
Okay. I'll kind of like slowly creak it open and kind of like see if anything seems amiss.
Give me a perception roll, as you do.
Oh, 19.
So as you like slowly creak it open, you do see there's no lights on inside.
Okay.
It looks old and not massive, but like there's definitely like different rooms off. from here, but the main area, you look inside, and as you're scanning, see what looks like a cloaked individual put up, just standing in the middle of the room. They're not moving.
If I
though.
stop, yeah, as I say, if I like stop completely, do they seem to acknowledge my presence, or is there any sort of?
They do not appear to have noticed. Kind of standing there.
If I just sit there for like 30 seconds and don't move and just watch them, do they move at all? Does it seem like they're moving in any way, breathing, anything?
Stand for a moment and watch. They're not moving.
I'm gonna kind of slowly close it, like really softly, and then be like, what? There's like a figure standing there, but he's not moving. I don't even know if he's a thing or just a cloak, or I don't know, but I just wanted to let you guys know before I bust in there. Should I go in?
Does Ira ping as a conjuration?
Ira would have. Yeah, Ira would have magic that you would pick up on it. It's I don't know. He's kind of weird with how he is because it's kind of like the mishap crack type stuff.
I was just about to say, yeah.
But yeah,
Like it probably
Ira
feels
would
like
ping
conjuration,
as
but then other
magical.
stuff. Yeah.
Ira is created with magic in it. So.
Interesting.
Didn't we hear somewhere that they were communing with him somehow?
What do you mean?
Aspects of them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's whatever it is not active. At least we hope.
So should I
Like to
go
get a
in?
look at it.
I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't. We just have to be careful.
All right.
I
I
mean,
think she'll go back over to the door and kind of like slowly open it again and see, is the figure looking in a different spot, or is he still at the same spot?
Best you can tell, same spot.
Keep posing on.
Yeah, if it's like a coat rack
He's
or something.
glitching.
I do have Mage Hand if you guys are worried about anything. I know it's probably even more worried about me touching it with Mage Hand, but just putting that out there.
True.
As a thought. I don't think we're gonna have an issue, but
I think Winnie would just open the door and kind of like shuffle in and kind of like be in like basically be in front of the figure and see if it looks like it's like moving or alive at all.
Are you moving
like
around
a
to the front of it?
statue. Yeah, if it seems not to acknowledge me at all.
Creep in.
Kind of like that.
Is not moving at all. Dark cloak over the head, covering the body, just standing there. And as you move around to the front, give me an investigation roll.
It's gonna be a skeleton.
Your cat's expression looks so serious in this moment,
He-
Ashley.
He wants
Wait.
to know what's happening.
Oh, he's so sweet. Investigation, you said?
Yep.
I only got an 8.
Okay. So as you kind of look at it, it seems like a suit of armor that's just standing there.
I guess I would approach it if it didn't seem it was moving still. I might kind of approach the suit of armor and just see like if it's like animated or something. If it's just a suit of armor.
Just looks like a suit of armor standing there. How close you getting?
I won't get too close because I think she'd be a little. I probably would just get close enough, like maybe like 5 feet away. I don't know if I'm already 5 feet away. I'm not sure how big this room is, but
Yeah, I mean it's not massive. It's definitely a small hut, but
okay.
you get kind of within 5 feet or so and examine it. Standing there still, covered in that cloak.
Okay. Is there anything else in the room? But if I kind of look around the room, is there anything else besides just the suit of armor?
So as you look around, you do notice that there are. It looks like living quarters, and it looks like there are actual items that are here for people who may have or whatever lived here. There's a stack of books off to the side as well, and otherwise there's not much. Just kind of like general house goods, living goods, and about it.
I guess if I looked around, there's really nothing. I guess I would come back out and be like, I think it's safe for you guys to come in. I think. And then if you guys start to come in, I'll be like, it's just a suit of armor. I don't really know what. I don't know. I didn't touch it. I get too close. It looks like just a suit of. I think the only thing in here is just that suit of armor. So it might have been what you're detecting, I guess.
Yeah, based on the perspective of it, doesn't look like that's what's banging.
Kind of pinpointing it. That's about the same location.
Yeah, looks like it's
All right.
Jeff's still outside until y'all say otherwise. It would look like he had had his hand up ready to pull her out of there if he needed. But
All right. If we're all right still, we can go look. If you would like me to identify Davril, I'm
Sure.
willing.
I think that would be a good idea.
here, might as well know what it is.
But you've never heard any talk of a suit of armor or anything.
No, right?
I mean,
Well,
people might wear armor.
Interesting.
Is there any sort of like, is it type of armor that would be like distinctive? As in like, I don't know, something that like
Nothing-
elves wore. I
nothing
don't know. Is
stood
it
out to
anything
you.
about it?
Just looks like a suit of armor to you.
Okay.
That was your 8
So-
investigation roll. So
Oh,
Yeah. I'll go. in.
Yeah, I'll go in and I will get about as far as Winnie did, maybe, and see if I can notice any kind of like insignia or anything.
you can also roll investigation roll.
I don't see much. That's a 1 for 6.
It's kind of dark in here. It's covered in the cloak. It's a little hard to see.
I don't even know what I'm looking for.
Does Davril come in? I can help you roll if you want, because I was also gonna.
I mean,
roll.
are you guys? It kind of looks like, are you fine if I come in, or do you want me to stay back?
I mean, I think as long as you don't touch it,
Mhm.
maybe.
At
Someone
this
want
point.
to at least take off the cover and maybe I'll recognize any insignia.
The
Yeah,
cloak,
I'll
you
like
mean?
walk up to it.
So again,
I'm still outside,
Covered
just
up.
kind of getting a perspective on it. But
you're peeking in. It's for you, Dav. It's a little dark to see, just because it is shuttered with windows and everything. Darker in the hut.
Hmm.
But you three all up very close to it, and Ira's just standing kind of behind you, Dav, almost like boxing you from running backwards, like because it's looking over your shoulder at what's going
Yeah.
on.
exit strategy. Come on.
Yeah.
Standing there.
Caution.
Starts mumbling an infernal. Now that he knows something that Ira can't understand.
I mean, it can't
Least
be
Ira
translated
1.0.
later.
Yeah,
I know. That's like
that's what I'm
the-
saying. He's not saying anything like bad, but he's just mumbling just to, again, probably give Vari some more work or something.
Right, but you three are up close to this statue looking at it. Standing
Can I
there.
roll 2 or?
Yeah, you can roll investigation.
I love how cautious they are.
I'll use my reroll for funsies.
All right.
Not like the reroll I was given, but like the mishap reroll.
Okay, that one. Okay.
Because that should still
Yeah.
be up. Yeah.
Yeah. That will end soon anyways.
I want to use that within the hour.
You have to use your new
Mhm.
roll though. That's the rule.
Yeah, that's fine. I got 18.
Nice.
18.
Mhm.
So as you are looking at it, this is a very nice and fine kind of metal. It's not even so much, it's not even so much armor. It's more solid in nature, like a metal construct. As you're looking at it, it kind of looks a little familiar to something you've seen or heard maybe bits of back towards Edgefort. Adamantine.
Oh.
Kelly, you get a bless. So it looks like it is some sort of adamantine fan of.
So I just kind of like look at it. I haven't touched it yet, but I'm just kind of like looking it over, and I say, Davril, I believe this is adamantine.
Oh, it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a more fine material to use if you're wanting to incorporate magic, I would assume.
Yes. Do you want me to take the cloak off first, or do you want me to identify first?
6 half dozen the other.
Sorry?
6 half dozen the other. Either way. You choose. Same thing. 1 6, 1 half dozen.
All right.
My dad used to say it. I don't know. It took me a while to figure it out.
You are full of sayings today.
It's the same thing, you know. It's your choice.
Sure.
I always used to think he was saying a baker's dozen, and I was like, it doesn't work, Dad. But then I realized he was right. That's a true story. Like, Dad, that's 6 and 13. Come on. He's like, "No." He was like, I'm in the gifted class, Dad. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll do identify.
Okay.
I have to ritually cast it though, so if people want to look at other things, they can.
Identify requires you to touch it, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So you begin to work on that. Anybody doing anything while she's preparing her spell?
I guess just. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna look at the books and see if there's anything interesting.
Okay.
Since I know Dab was looking for books before.
So you start digging through them, and some of these look like fairly nice books. There's a lot of history written in these. Looks like history across multiple planes of existence as well. There's books about magic and other arcane things. There's books about deities in here. There's books about other topics of study. Like, this is largely a collection of nonfiction, educational purposes type books. They're all kind of stacked up and somewhat organized by section.
Would Dad?
think-
Go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I would start reading some of them out loud to Dav if he's not walking in yet. Or I could even just kind of motion you over.
Yeah, I'd probably join you guys now. I mean, unless you guys are telling him not to. But
I mean,
That's
I
in the
think,
any
room.
objection? Any objection for me coming in? You want me to stay out for now, or till you finish the
Alright.
identify? Just in case.
Honor's busy, but she just kind of nods like she
Mhm.
doesn't seem like.
yeah,
Right.
I think it's okay.
I want to read them all. It's like saying them out loud.
Yeah, I figured.
So you can look at them for a little bit, and yeah, these are definitely books that you even would probably recognize some of them as like, oh yeah, this was in our library. This is maybe where some of them were pulled out and put into here. As you're looking through them, though, it doesn't look like there's a lot of the text that you want here. Kind of just more of the text that are here. random books here and there, like maybe like a section maybe wasn't burned, so like whole sections here. But at least what you're looking for, not picking up on anything that's like super deep arcane knowledge or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Is just a quick flip through of like the deity one. Is there any mention of Acheral or imprisonment by ancient elders or anything like that? That'd be like relevant.
As you, I mean, flip through, there's no mention of Acheral.
Yeah, this is more, and nothing of like common imprisonment by ancient deities or anything like that. Like what would have been imprisoned by then?
In the 10 minutes, I don't think you'd find anything.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do I feel like this is Azrini's hut or
People likely would stay here. There's rooms for
Oh,
both of them.
okay. Gotcha.
Or
The
living
founder's
quarters.
hut. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's originally created by the founder, lived here, and then they're the leaders, so that's the leader's hut, so they currently occupy it, or did occupy it.
So how big is this hut then?
It's not that big. It's kind of like divided into a living quarters with a small kitchen area, and then there's like one section that's walled off as like a room, and there's another section for a second room. And
Okay. And it's just
Pretty
in the
small.
middle of the room, or where is this?
the books
like-
or the man?
The man.
The metal man is just standing in the middle of the room.
It doesn't seem like it's put away or like for usage. It's just left in the middle of the room. Like
Yep, it's just standing in the middle of the room.
looked like it was facing the door, waiting for someone, or what
It's
way would it have been
Looking
left
away
facing?
from the door, kind of looking off into one direction of the cabin towards, say, Azarini's living quarters, like her room.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, there's a stack of books off the living quarters. As you are standing there doing your things, looking through stuff, you finish your ritually cast identify. Roll for a mishap chance on that. As finish it up and reach your hand up to cast the spell finally. No mishap, amazingly.
No mishap. Didn't say it fast enough. Dang.
And as you do that, you do not pick up on anything that would be like a description of what this could be. You just feel like a sense of this is magical and is of the school of conjuration. But there's no other details that are revealed.
Would I know why that would be?
That is very odd to you. Not a normal response to the spell, I'll say that. And thank you so much for the
Yeah,
sub,
I don't know if
Lovely
that's
Simba. Thank
ever
you.
happened. Thank you. Yeah, so she's like sitting there, like she has her hand like lightly, very lightly touching the armor.
Very
like
cold
the shoulder
metal
of it
too,
or
you're feeling
something.
as you're doing that.
Yeah. And then she goes, "This is giving me no information."
What do you mean, nothing relevant?
No,
Like
like
weird.
blanked out. I know it's magical and that it's conjuration. That is
Well,
it.
Yeah, conjuration has to have some direction to it. To bring
No.
something, transport something, move something.
It's like it's blanked out or something.
Something blocking it?
Yeah, if it was shielded somehow.
I mean, it seems that anything that's being involved here is magic we aren't aware of. So maybe there are some sort of shield or block or something.
I'm sorry, did you take the cloak off or is it still on? There's like a cloak over the suit of armor.
Cloak is
I
still
didn't
on.
take it off yet.
Okay. I guess, yeah. Do you think that maybe the cloak has something to do with it? Like, it's shielding something? I don't know. You think a one magical item could be on there that could, like, block that? Is that possible?
I just glance at Dav and I go,
Not
the
paying
cloak magical
two
or
things.
yes, it's the armor.
At this point, I think his detect magic is down.
Yeah. And I'd have to recast it. Because, yeah, we would have had to wait your 10 minutes. It was
And
definitely
you walked
done.
around and then came and stood outside for a little bit, so I think it would have gone
Yeah.
down in that whole process.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Mm.
Just a thought. Maybe it's not right, but maybe there's something. Or if we move the suit of armor, what would stop you from being able to, like, detect magic? Or, like, not detect magic, but.
Conjuration would do that. Conjuration conjures something, it teleports something, it creates a gust of air, it
Mm-hmm.
does similar things to that. I don't
It's not really shielding in and of itself. Yeah.
I believe that would be divination.
I mean, like, could there be, like, an item or, like, a spell that you could put on something that would make it, yeah, that would, like.
That's what I'm thinking. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Like,
If they have dealt in magic that most of us aren't aware of, who knows what sort of effects?
that's
Sure.
true. Like a spell or
Might-
something that would make it.
Yes.
Or even, like, as an item, or even, like, I don't know, something on the suit of armor or in there that may make it hard.
I was visibly frustrated.
Is it like a full suit of armor with, like, a mask and everything? Like, you know, like the whole, like, I'm thinking, like, medieval suit of armor with, like, mask and everything like that. Is that kind of how it is? Or is it, like.
It's more like, as especially as Eleanor touches it, like it feels very hefty. And it looks like it's a solid piece of adamantine shaped to be sort of like almost like a sculpture of.
So it's almost like a
Oh.
statue or something.
Yes.
Okay. So we can't
So
lift up, like,
even,
the
like-
visor and see, like, a creepy
There's no
face.
visor.
So even,
to
like,
lift up.
as
It's
I'm,
it's like a face. It's just kind of like, it's kind of Ira-ish, honestly.
Okay, interesting.
I like
Neutral
as I'm like
expression.
touching it, I kind of almost like run my hands down to like where like the seams of what should be like the gaps in the armor, but like it's not. And then I'll say to you guys like, this is more like a statue than an actual like suit of armor.
Or a vessel.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm
Yes.
thinking. Yeah.
Do you think that the cloak is the vessel? Like, the statue is just the thing it's on? I don't know.
Well, I was registering magical energy from the suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
if it was,
that is the conjuration magical item. It's just
Mm.
a blank as to what it is.
Ah. Okay. I was just throwing it
The
out there. I
cloak
don't know.
might have something too. I don't know. If you want, I can try again, but we are at critical.
I mean, did you actually
Levels.
touch the cloak, or did you actually touch the suit of armor when you did
No, I touched
identify?
the suit of armor. That seemed the most relevant.
Just making sure you weren't touching it through the cloak and somehow.
Mm.
No.
I wasn't.
she looks slightly offended that you suggested that.
Just
No, you're right. You're right.
very frustrated right now. Every
Oh, yes, I know. Yes. Well, did you find anything over in past books?
nothing right now. Nothing out of the ordinary, at least. I'll keep on looking around the room just for anything. I think Dab's at a point where like there's a little bit of like that nostalgia feeling of like having a door closed on him and like this struggle to be a wizard, and now it's like here's an answer, another question. Like this journey of like the stone and Acheron and like
Mm-hmm.
every bump of Kendra and Igden, like it's starting now to like go from like sadness to frustration of like it's just not getting anywhere for him. You know what I mean? Like that's just in the moment, I think, where
Yeah.
his initial reaction is. So yeah, He literally was about to rip that cloak off and just detect magic again and be like, it's the suit, not the cloak. So yeah, you see him kind of like, probably even like kicks a little stone that's like on the floor somewhere, and then he's like just going through the whole place, just looking for notes, journals, anything left here. He's just looking for more clues, more information that's here.
Okay.
Seeing if there's anything else.
You can give me an investigation roll. What are you guys doing as Dav's kind of being around a little bit?
Kicking around. Yeah.
Can I also look around? I was actually gonna look around before, like just kind of examine, like see, I don't know, even look at like footprints or like just interesting stuff.
I'm using my
So what
reroll
roll
as
am I
well.
doing?
Investigation.
Natural 20. There we go. 26.
Nice.
There he is. The
felt
frustration.
I felt it. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want a dirty 20. I want a natural 20.
No, I got a 5. So no.
Okay.
I'm not very
I'll-
investigative today.
Can I look through those books and see if there's anything relevant? Especially if you said there might be stuff on demons? There's stuff in there?
Essentially.
Just anything that might be relevant to whatever we're trying to do.
How many books did you say are in here? Like you said, almost like there's more than just a small pile, right?
Yeah, it's definitely like a few stacks. It's kind of like, it looks like whatever was even partially salvageable was brought here instead of being left in the library.
More than could probably be taken in like their backpacks
Oh, absolutely.
here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Much for that.
This is-
So, Dav, as you're looking around and kind of investigating the rest of the cabin, you do kind of get a vibe that somebody was living here. Somebody was here. And you notice like some evidence of remnants of like people were here, but it does look like clothing was moved out of a drawer. There's like a section of clothing that's empty, whereas like there's like some stack that's still there. So it almost looks like somebody maybe had taken things and left from you. And you do notice it's on both sides, in Utrix's and Erzini's side.
He grabs a new set of underwear.
There you go. You're gonna be wearing
So good.
Utrix's underwear over there.
Higher tricks.
Fine. It's a little tall, but whatever.
There's also like a tiefling tail hole at the back of.
We'll make it work. He's a moocher. Free clothes if you guys want it.
He has to sew a big patch on his underwear. We see him doing it later. He's like using the scraps of his other underwear. He's like,
Yeah, he would.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you saw him,
Sadly,
that's what his vibe was. He was always patching up like
Yeah.
oh my god.
his clothes and jackets.
But yeah, I mean,
Does he get any vibe of how potentially how long? Like, is there dust settled? Is it recent, not recent?
the whole place seems a little like stale, like it's been a bit, but I don't think it's anything that you could pinpoint exactly. But it's been probably a while, not like a day ago or something, or even a week,
Interesting.
probably a little more than that.
Yeah.
And you're looking for the book stacks. As you dig through them, highs or lows, Rach?
Lows.
You're not finding much that looks like it's exactly what you're looking for. Unfortunately.
What did you say they were about again?
There's stuff about like the arcane. There's things that are kind of how-to books, basic topics or different topics. There's deities. There's I don't remember what else I said. That kind of stuff. It's all nonfiction, reference type books,
Okay.
learning academics, that kind of.
Like general knowledge stuff.
Is there anything interesting about um Ismeda or Dalmine, since we look into them all. Or Eladius, actually. Those three. Or is this general stuff?
As you go through, you do find a book about Ismeda. Do not find one about Dalmine, and you do not find one about.
Like there's a whole book about Ismeda?
Yep, there's a whole book dedicated to Ismeda.
I like called Davril. Davril, do you mind if I take a book?
Yeah, go for it. Which one?
This one on Ismeda.
That's a good
I'd
idea.
like to learn a bit.
I'm gonna grab the one on the plains.
Mm.
See if-
Oh, it's
Like
not.
historical books, yeah. There's historical books about.
Mhm.
I was like,
I was wondering for a second. Your face
No,
looked
but I'm
really
like,
confused.
Planes? What?
Yeah,
What do you
Planes,
mean?
Trains, Automobiles is my favorite book. It
We gotta get
survived.
somewhere.
I want it.
Yeah, we gotta get there. Is there anything about the either like the region around Northport or the swamp? That would be
Yeah, I was curious if there's anything of
like
this realm
geography stuff.
with it being so recent.
There's not much that you'd find specifically about those locations.
Okay. Okay. I was just trying to think of other things we might find relevant, but
Yeah, a lot of these books probably, just because of how kind of random what survived is, are those
Mhm.
books that would sit on your shelf and probably gather dust forever because you read them one time or want to reference them like once every 17 years or something like that.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Super random.
Yeah,
Is
anything else you want to do?
I think Winnie
Is-
was looking around too, right?
You rolled a 5.
I
think.
was, but I got,
Oh,
I
yeah,
got a
that's right.
5, so you know,
Right.
I
He's
was
not
trying.
finding
but no.
much.
Would there be anything about, if it's talking about arcane stuff, would I happen to find anything about maybe either about a suit of armor or like a conjuration magic, or about why maybe I'd be drawing a blank right now?
That would require probably a lot more study if you want to dig into books. That would take time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But I'll even say, like, as I'm like, does it look like maybe I could figure something out
You
potentially?
have no,
with the
it might be a
books
waste
there?
of time. It's up to you if you
Yeah,
want to
okay.
spend time doing it or not.
Mhm.
Okay. So, I'll kind of go back to the others and be like, is there anything we want to see if we want to research here to take with us? We could see if there's a reason for why this is happening. I could always go out and ritually cast detect magic, come back in and see if the cloak has anything to it. I don't want to do it in here though. It's
Yeah.
looking rather bad.
It's not going to be the only research we find. There's nothing in the library.
No.
Hey, Mark.
Yep.
Can I don't know if I'm able to do this. Am I like, if I think back, like, through my memory, do I know something like, sorry, what's the name of the adamantium? Adamantine? What it's called? Adamantine. Would I know anything about that? Like, what it's used for, if it has any specific purposes? Like, do I know anything about that stone at all?
So this was, if you remember back when you went to Edgefort, this is what they got all the mines
Yes.
there, and it's meant for defensive
Yes.
purposes typically. Mechanically speaking, like it negates nat 20s. You have like a suit of armor that's made
Right.
out of it. It's pretty nice. So it's
Yeah.
very,
Okay.
very strong metal, like extremely strong. It was, I think you had some too when you were exploring the mountains, and like it only
Yeah, I-
dissolved by certain creatures. You couldn't really break through it very well. Like it's just
Right.
solid.
I think I fed some of it to the little rock
You
guy.
did
and
feed
he
some
really
to the
liked
Did,
it.
yeah.
It was like candy for him. Okay. I was just curious if I knew anything else about it, like if it was in terms of magic or like properties that would be relevant in this
Yeah,
moment,
and
but if not.
It's not truly magic. Like it, I think adamantine armor's categorized as a magic thing, but it's not like a magic. It's more like the nature of the material is so kind of beyond the norm, it's considered magic, but there's
Mhm.
not arcane stuff in it, I guess.
So having a
Right.
whole bunch of armor in it is like, or at least statue, whatever made of it, would be like very like,
Oh, this is
especially if
crazy.
it feel like
Yeah.
if we feel it, it feels like solid, right? Not like hollow on the inside. If we kind of like shake it, it kind of
You
feels.
go up to it and kind of give it a shake. You can't even move
No,
it.
if
It's like solid.
Okay, I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. I didn't know if it was completely like heavy or okay.
Yeah, you're
Just
not even
curious,
able
thank you.
to shake it. Like it's just solid. Like you can't
Okay.
move it at all.
All right.
Or you could try and sell it.
If we could carry it at all.
I have a disc.
Well, I don't know if you want to sell this, Davil. We don't even know what it is.
Why
It's
not?
probably. Oh, do I need to explain this really?
Won't be our problem. We'll make a little bit.
All right, it's Davil.
We need gold. I'm just saying.
Yes. Daryl, it's probably a good thing that we're not getting a lot of
Much.
answers right now.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
would be worried if we did. But we have a path forward when we're ready to get answers.
Yeah. Clearly, it's a vessel, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
A focus, something. The aspect clearly went through my eye. Probably at the other timeline, as far as best guesses go.
Oh, like the thing that was in your
Mhm.
eye was in here.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, yes. Is there like a hollow part for like eyes or anything?
On the
Hmm.
metal man,
It's
I
a
mean,
great question.
it's like carved into it, like the shape of eyes, but there's not like a hole.
There's not like an azure stone.
Okay.
In there.
I wasn't sure if there's hollow
There's no
anywhere.
stones in
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Sure.
What
That
you
would've
can see
been
on the
interesting,
face,
yeah.
it looks just solid, with a carved-in face.
Or it's just used in some way to channel whatever was active here or something.
And you've never seen this
Yeah.
before, Dab, either. You would not be aware
Yeah.
of this from your time with the group.
Was there anything similar that was? Because I mean, the whole point of their existence was to research and communicate with it. Was there any sort of theories or thesis that we're typing about a item that would be used or theorized to try and focus communication to him?
As far as you know, the leaders were the ones who had communication back or all. Beyond that, you don't know of anything that was.
Yeah. Okay. And as far as the hierarchy, so there's founders, and then there are those that end up taking the stone and those that didn't. Out of those that took the stone and mastered it, how many were like still in training and like actually mastering it at the time
So
outside of the founders?
the two leaders were both considered kind of the quote-unquote masters or most proficient
Mhm.
users of it. You had your dad, who had been using it for a little bit. Your brother was more recent, and you are more recent. And then there was a few other people also had it who were kind of like learning to use it a little bit, and they had more usage of the stone as far as you tell. You were very early on in the stages, and it's kind of secretive, like even what the stone even does in general,
Yeah.
because it's meant to be such a great like honor to even have the stone embedded in your eye and access to this power. So it's kind of like until you're there, you don't get much detail about it. But you would probably have seen your dad at least use it and glowing some pretty cool magic with it.
Like Knights of Columbus stuff. Anyways, uh, at a church group that always did that, like, not until you get to the next rank, you know what to do. Like, well, I don't know if I want to join you guys. And the guy was stumped. He's like, trust me, you want to. It's worth it. Like, okay. Sounds like a cult.
I mean, you saw things that could be
Davro.
done with it, and they were impressive. They were powerful magic.
Well, I guess I was
It's
about to
just-
ask then. Yeah. So, like, what kind of things would he have seen it used for? Is it just empowering, or like, was there anything else specific that he would have seen, like, especially from like maybe his dad or something?
I mean, especially with like your dad, it seemed like it was enhancing his magic to be more powerful.
So it seemed like more of an enhancement thing, not like a transformative thing to the magic.
Yeah, from what you can tell, what you saw, because again, you're
Yeah.
very, very early on in the process.
Mhm.
He at least had stronger magic than probably an average person would have.
I just realized I had kind of assumed some of that, never actually asked it. So,
Davril.
Sorry, nostalgic route.
Oh. Um. Were you allowed in here? In this room?
Mark, probably not, right?
No.
Yeah, no. This feels very against the rules right now. I'm regressing
Really?
pretty hard.
So, this might have been here this whole time, do you think?
Potentially, I guess.
I mean, would we know, like, is this probably, like, really heavy?
Oh, from the two of you who've touched it, yes, it feels quite
Yeah.
heavy.
Like,
Quite
if
heavy.
I look at the floor, does it look like it's been moved around? You know how, like, it might have gotten scraped, or, like, are there, like, indents almost in the floor, or, like, anything of that?
Do not notice any scrape. Just
Yeah.
dragged on the ground or anything.
So this might have been here for who knows how long, potentially.
The one thing is, it would be a very odd place. It's like right in the middle of the room, just sitting there. That's the only thing that I'd say that's kind of odd about its place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why she was asking if anybody was allowed in, because it's like, you know, if people came in, obviously, like, it wasn't sitting here.
No
so-
one that I am aware of.
Right.
Again, it's each level up is more secretive than the next.
Right.
The journey of knowledge.
I would think that because it is sitting here not locked away or concealed, that it needs to be activated somehow to be useful.
They seemed quite alright with leaving it unguarded.
Mm-hmm.
So
It must have some sort of, you know.
I mean, if it had any way to communicate, they wouldn't have left it here, or would have left.
Currently.
Yes.
Like if it could be accessed, I can't imagine they would have left it behind.
And you said last time he didn't really recognize any relevance to the was it Amber Vault? Is that what they said they went to?
Aldor's
Sorry, I'm
fault?
blanking out. Sorry, Alder's fault.
all
Sorry.
doors.
Any relevance to that as far as like connected to their teachings, or what would be there?
You have no
Yeah.
idea what Aldor's.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they were leaving it here to come get it later, you would think they would have locked it up more or secured it if it had any sort of potential
Usage.
by an outsider to, you know, someone that's not in the tight circle to even use it. It's just a guess, but
Well, and I think we also have a good idea of how they're communicating in the other timeline.
it seems likely.
So, knowledge here may not be as useful, but for knowledge there, it is.
Saying that this and the other timeline could be something they're using to communicate.
I don't even think they abandoned this place in the other timeline.
Right.
So yes, I
That's-
think things are all as normal over there. So
Could be an interesting way to check out Alder's vault over there without running into these guys here. Potentially.
oh, like swap it.
And understand the importance of it.
Possible.
Well, again, I think we said that if we're ever ready to, talking with them here is less of a risk, I think, than talking with them there. So.
Yeah. Just throwing it
But
out
I
there.
see what you're saying if you wanted to try and investigate it there on the hopes that no one is inhabiting Alder's
Right.
vault, but we don't know that at this point in time.
And we don't know if Akrol can come back to this timeline or can switch or would.
Very true. Yes.
And all of a sudden be walking in thinking it's the safer one and it's more dangerous.
Right. Well,
More questions, isn't it lovely?
that's how it always is, Davril. About everything that we do.
Just expect it by now.
No, at least we get some answers.
This is something. And it's a path forward when we're ready for it. That is a lot.
Yeah.
So, would you like to look into anything here or taking any books? I can go out and ritually do detect magic and make sure we're not missing anything, if you like.
I think we hit every spot. I'm gonna grab a banner to go and grab a few of these books.
I'm sorry, I'm like fixated on this. Is the cloak removable or no? Is it just like is it part of the thing? I know.
You try
I
to go
know.
to the-
I just want to see,
You try to move the cloak.
I'm gonna look at you guys and be like, can I just want to see. I just don't want to miss anything. If there's like carvings on it or
Well-
something. I don't know.
Well, why don't I just...
I was curious
Okay.
about the inscriptions on it as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to remove it, but I can also just do detect magic to make sure nothing's going
Yeah.
on. There.
We'll wait. I'll wait for you. Go ahead.
All right. So I'll leave though, because I don't want to blow up this place with another fireball or something.
Sounds good.
Shrink
but I'll
6
just be like,
inches.
please keep an eye on me in case I die or something.
While
I'll be
you're
watching.
doing that, yeah, I was actually gonna turn to Winnie and be like, "Do you think maybe we should go collect some firewood to take with us, in case we need it later?"
Yeah.
There were
After we're done
some
here,
little bundles
that right?
around.
Or should we do it now?
Yeah.
You know, the guy that taught me how to be an artificer was like, "Hey, man, before you choose your specialties, I could probably help you make like a bag of holding." And I realized, like a bag of holding would be great for like wood right now, and books, and
Yeah.
don't know how to
well,
do that, so that's not fun.
If we each carry some, we might need it later.
Okay.
You never know.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about a bag of holding for like, hey, let's put a lot of wood for cold stuff and like a lot of, like warm stuff for heat. I don't know, just
We
it'd
need to
be really
look
nice
some
when
like.
we get teleported
Tom-
around.
Are you okay? What's going on?
There's a lot of like ideas that have happened after the fact that are just starting to get to me.
Okay. You need to
You know,
take
when you
5. let us
regret
know.
certain things and you like start to think back on your decisions. I'm regressing right now. This is a lot. All right, when you go home, yeah.
Yeah. If you need
Got
to
a
step
big
out,
metal
go
man
ahead.
that's just taunting him in the room right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've already thought a couple times of him about to kick this thing and just his toe really hurting.
Break his foot. Yeah.
It breaks
He's
his foot.
held back. He's like, "Ugh." Mike comes out. He's like stress petting Micah. Micah like, please help.
His eyes are just bulging.
There's a
Eleanor's
bald spot
outside,
for me.
ritually casting.
No, Dab's
I
just
mean-
whining.
I would use the time to like stay out, keeping an eye on Eleonora, and also just like note where some firewood is, and maybe even bring it over to like where we are, so we can take it with.
Yeah, I can do the
us.
same.
Yep.
Yeah, keep an eye on Eleanor the whole time, making sure she's not dying.
I'm stealing some more shirts and wrapping books in them for later use, in case I need spare clothing.
You go ahead and cast your spell.
I ever heard that shrinking.
You get a mishap,
Of course. Of course.
of course.
Maybe hair changing color.
You get your 4th level spell slot back.
Nice.
Well,
That's very
okay.
nice.
She like kind of jolts a little bit. Oh, all right. That wasn't bad at all.
Are you the same height?
Yes, I can cast a little more magic now.
Start.
That was good.
But without wasting any time, I'll go back into the room and just make sure, with the cloak.
Yeah. So based on kind of like you looking at it, it looks like it's coming from the metal and not the cloak.
Not the cloak. Okay.
Like the cloak,
So
just
now
kind of
that-
like with the door open, like the wind's blowing the cloak a little bit, and it doesn't look like it's tracking with that. It looks like it's
What kind of cloak is it? Is it just like a tarp thing that covers, or is it like an actual jacket?
so it's
Okay.
it's a fairly nice, almost like silken looking black robe with gold lining on it.
I'll look toward I'll look toward Eleanor and be like, can I move it? I want to kind of look at it, like examine it closer. Is that okay? You think?
Yeah, I mean, I'll move it for you if you
So-
want.
You try to remove it, and based off of the position of this thing, it is pinched in between like arms and stuff, and it's not something that you are able to get off without probably damaging it.
Oh.
Can I examine where that is? Does it look like? Because that's really odd. Like if somebody like that doesn't make any sense. Because like
Unless it was made like that, I guess. So if it was made like that.
Or this thing moved.
While it was wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it is looking a
looks
certain
like
direction, isn't it?
Could potentially have moved at some point, and it's gotten wedged in
Oh.
there at some point.
It wasn't. It didn't scratch
Okay.
the floor. It stepped into this spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I, as I examine the cloak and stuff, does it look like? Does it like the fabric or anything? Does it like allude to a certain? I don't know, like someone was like wealthier, like maybe they're from a certain area because they have this like fabric more, like anything like that, or no, nothing.
No, it's just a nice
Okay.
material cloak.
Okay. Why?
Interesting.
Why would he have a?
Did we ever get any description of the giant's cloak?
No.
I know, I was thinking that too. It's like a replica or like a...
Wouldn't be this small though, I'm guessing. Interesting.
Yeah, how tall is this figure?
Kind of dab sized.
That was what I was imagining. I just want to make sure.
I was imagining like 4'11", just a little guy.
Little short king.
Just a little... That girl's a short king.
Can't even get the
all right.
robe.
What?
Can't even get the robe.
Oh, well, Devril, I
It's
don't...
a nice robe. I was gonna
But it
take
tells
it.
us, but at least it tells us that the thing moved at one point, which is crazy.
It animates.
Do you guys
Kinda
fix
was
the
fine.
robe? Like you took it like off the shoulders a little bit. Do you put it back up, or do you
Yeah, I'll put it back how it was.
Okay.
I guess.
turn it to how it was?
Yeah.
Anything else you all
Alright.
want to do?
Devril, do you have anything else?
I'm got about a loss.
All right.
I mean, unless you guys want me to be more risky with anything, but I don't think so. And I'm not thinking we should be if we're not trying to. You know what I
Well,
mean?
if we want to start heading to Icewall, maybe there's a few things we can whatever information we can gather there to kind of decide our next move.
Again, throwing it out there, put it on a disc, sell it for like 100 gold. Someone can make bank off this by like flipping it for adamantine.
I don't know if doing anything with this is smart right now.
I would worry
Trying to
someone
make money.
Iceball recognizes it or
Yes.
something, and we get tracked
Oh, they're
down.
gonna recognize me, man, for sure.
Well, but if we don't know if alcohol can travel around, I mean, would it put someone in danger if we sell this thing?
Especially if we can
Fair.
animate, yeah.
I mean, Ackroll could be good. We don't know. It sounds like
I
does sound like there's a
think-
little bit of regret stuff coming out.
I think
Oh,
if
dear.
it came out that someone with your description sold an adamantine statue in Iceball, that's too much information for your people to have, and that wouldn't be a good thing.
Especially if we want information for them. I don't know if they will look
Mhm.
too kindly on you selling
Yeah.
something so priceless to them.
I don't know why they'd leave it here if it's so priceless to them.
Because who's gonna take it?
I'm sure they have a disc. Oh, you mean someone else coming in and taking it? Yeah,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Right.
You
Anything
sure?
else, you guys? There you go.
Look, we're missing something, it says. Um,
And I did
don't
say I
think
looked
so.
around the room. Yeah.
Anything
I can't
else?
think of anything.
Hey, you don't understand me, do you?
You talking
It just-
to the metal man,
Yeah.
not react to you talking to.
Yeah, I'm out of ideas.
Alright.
That's
Well,
the best.
Do we
Yes.
want to head to Icewall then?
I think we should, and I think maybe we should take some firewood with us.
I like to
so
grab
we
a
know
banner
where
from
we're
the
going.
town as well.
For like a keepsake or something?
Mhm.
Alright.
I don't really see myself necessarily coming back here if I don't need to. Not if there's nothing of my family left to grab.
Sorry, there's not.
Objects are just objects. I hold them close. I realize I'm petting Mike. I'm so hard. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
All right, you guys leaving?
Yeah,
You're
why
so
are you judging
judged.
Just asking.
It's the face of like
Judging us?
something obvious that we're missing.
It's up to you guys what you want to do.
What
You guys
else
wanna
would
leave?
we
You can
do?
leave. Yeah, you can leave. Want to leave?
Mind games.
I've been
Alright.
racking my brain this whole time trying to think of like what we can
The
do.
only other thing Michael thought of was putting a spell into it, like we do with Ira, and that just doesn't seem smart.
I mean, I'll
Yeah.
look through my thing just in case, but
I can do a little dinky level 1 spell.
I mean, yeah, Dav will just bring up. I mean, yeah, the only other thing I was thinking was seeing if it'd react to a spell, but I don't know if that's smart
I-
either.
Can I look at Ira and be like, is he like you think?
He just looks at you. You get a sense of insulted feeling from
Oh, sorry.
the flat look on Ira's face.
Through his
Oh,
His-
sorry.
Sorry.
motionless metal features.
I think she. Sorry, I meant in like the way that it can maybe, you know, talk, but like needs charged up, you know. So.
Sorry.
Ira does not respond, just stares
Oh,
at you.
all right.
Indeed.
Oh. Didn't mean
You
to
guys doing
insult
anything, or are you
him.
guys leaving?
The only thing I could think of is if you want to try and research anything here, now's the time. If not, then I can't think of anything else. But that would take time, so.
I'm taking the Realms one with me to study later. What were the other options again? Just trying to make sure.
I was
Took some of the
Historical
deities.
books. There's books about deities. There's books about like how to do certain things, like different topics. Arcane, some stuff about arcane magic. There's about different other types of magic as well.
Any books on like what we're missing to do with a big unknown object
Any
of a deity
step-by-step
that could be conjured?
instructions.
Investigations.
Metal man.
I mean, you guys can interact with this place as much as you want to or not want to. That's your choice. I'm just doing what you want to do. So I'm waiting to see if you want to do anything else.
Yeah.
I said that you have resting judgment voice.
Assuming there's no other spots in town that we really haven't hit up, correct?
Nah.
Just want to make sure.
You went to the library yesterday and
Mm-hmm.
kind of saw everything else. Not much of
He grabs a banner and then I'll take them like over to the library and just kind of point out things, and I'll just do like one last look around during the day just to make sure you didn't miss anything. But
anybody, like, so you're closing up the leader's hut?
I think we'd leave it how we found it.
Close it up. You can give me one general perception check if you'd like to for the rest of kind of seeing if there's anything of note.
Yeah, so
If you'd like.
Oh, for all of us, there's one of us.
Yeah,
do
whoever's
it.
We
looking.
all do it?
Whoever's looking.
yeah, can you use help?
Okay.
Yeah,
14!
19.
1.
23.
Nice.
So Winnie and Euphemia, as you guys kind of are looking around outside for the firewood, especially, you do kind of walk over closer to that burial mound. And you just see a little plaque that was there that you didn't notice last night. It says, "In memory of those we lost."
Cool.
Looks like it's kind of carved into some wood there.
Okay.
Does it look recent?
I mean, it has been exposed to weather for a while, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not like super old. Carved in there. Most likely after the fact of this burial site.
Mm-hmm.
I'll point it out to Dav as he's like trying to find anything outside.
What? Like, we have to like literally point him to it. I don't even.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's nice to know they were at least, laid to rest with care.
I mean, they care about us. I'm sure they think what they're doing is the right thing.
Seems that way.
At least, Ezrini did. The Shirk still scared me.
Nothing else though. You guys heading out?
Yeah, I'd be kind of eager to get going, probably.
I definitely would like try and sense like if Dad. Why do I keep calling him?
See?
See?
It's
Daddy
easy to
Dav.
do.
Dad.
Hi,
Dad.
Dad.
I'd definitely see if Dad like needs anything or if he needs to like be.
He's walking out already. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Alright.
Just didn't want to rush him.
He's
know?
done for sure at the
He
moment of
seems
this place.
Yeah.
And not in like a he'll regret it way. He's just the dead have told him enough of what the dead need to tell him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're heading east, head towards Icewall. We'll take a break there. Stick around for after the break and see where things go from here. Back here shortly. Thanks for being here so far. All real soon. Hello, everybody. We're back. Ready to get into our second half of the session tonight, as our group has investigated Dav's old encampment for the followers of Acheral and investigated around, heading east, hoping to reach Icewall, which is about a couple hours from here. That's where we're picking up. So, you guys start walking. Anything you want to do on your travels? Plans you have? Get over.
How's what's his face?
Ira?
With the charges.
I mean, it's only been like an hour-ish. You charged him.
Okay. Cool. So there's still plenty of. He's good for a while. I would probably wait like half an hour, 45 minutes. But I don't know how Dav is by that point in time, but I might go talk to him. Depending. Just let me know.
It's probably been about 10 minutes since the last comment of selling that thing. And maybe like a good 6 minutes from like another grumble that you probably didn't understand. And then he probably laughs at a joke of his own at about like the 1 minute mark. You know, it seems a little better, but not
Okay.
like the greatest, but
Okay.
enough to be like, oh, okay, he's probably back to normal-ish.
Sure. I think though I would like, kind of hang back with him for a moment and just say, Deborah, I know this wasn't an easy situation to face your past unexpectedly, but you handled yourself incredibly well.
Oh. I mean, you don't need to lie. I could have done better.
What could you have done better?
Not really acting on my best behavior there.
Oh, at the end there with the grumbling?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, but
Gremlin's fun sometimes. But a totally successful search where nothing was left behind. We uncovered everything. I'm positive and sure about it.
well, I think I've thrown my own tantrums when things don't work out. So
No.
I
Oh.
understand,
I'm practically perfect.
practically. No, I'm talking about the whole thing though. I mean,
You can tell there's a little bit of like he's using the comedy just to deflect a little bit, but you know.
mhm. It's things like this that earn trust.
Thank you.
Are you all right though? I mean, that is not an easy sight to come back to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm okay. Last night was harder. I was pulling, the wound open, but it's been years. I've said goodbye. I've coped. Just growing up, I think I idolized and I don't know the right word. I in my head, being a wizard was just the greatest thing, and it fixed everything. Gave you the opportunities you needed. It put you in high status. Even after I left, it was the people in the towers in Ivory buildings that looked down upon other people and didn't have problems and had the flash of magic. They weren't beridden to a god or someone else to give them their powers. I just didn't expect it to be so hard.
The process of getting there, you mean?
They just reminded me of that.
I mean, yes, I think there are many things that in concept it seems easy. In reality, it's hard. And I think for our reality, it's about 10 times harder, personally.
But we're here. It's a good thing. Like you said, each step is forward, but
Yes.
it just boils over sometimes.
It does. Something Death has said to me often, which I find it true, is failure doesn't happen when you make a mistake or run into a dead end. Failure happens when you stop. So we won't stop.
Yeah. For sure.
But if you need anything, let me know.
Goes in for a hug.
All right.
You give
Give
the
him
best
a
hug.
nice mom hug.
You do give good mom hugs.
Thank you. Do you, after they hug for a minute or whatever, she'll just say, do you want to try and see if you can find the people that helped you? Are they in Icewall?
I was most likely going to find their grave. I don't think they'd be alive. And say thank you.
Yes, we can definitely do that. Good.
Kind of figured I'd show Winnie.
Yes. I think that's a good idea.
Thank you.
Okay. Of course. You're doing very well, really.
I know there's a lot of people that don't like this cult and Acheral and are afraid of it and want to stop it. But we weren't bad people. My family wasn't bad or evil. They treated people nice. And it felt good being part of a community that looked out for each other. So that's why sometimes I want desperately to find the good in all this. But I understand Acheral might not be good.
Seeing everything in your home, I can understand. It makes it a little more real. So I do understand what you're saying. If anything, the good you have already is that your family raised a lovely man who's doing what he can to further the good in the world. The fact that you have many good memories speaks to at least who they were. Deceived or no.
That's why for so many times I defended what being a cult meant. Sometimes it just feels like a perspective thing. And the intentionality of those that are in power can be different than those that are just there.
Yes, I think so.
I think that's why I have so much anger for Kendra. Not personally. And kind of looks around and sees Ira, someone in earshot, and them. I just wish there had been a different way.
Yes. It's an anger that makes sense.
That's what's going to drive me. I won't give up until either Akrol's understood, stopped, and I can make good out of these stones.
Well, I think in the past few days, you've taken a step towards letting your logic rule a bit more over your emotions for this mission of yours. I think that will continue to aid you well.
Who knows, maybe at the end of this we'll go into business together. A new Azure Stone mining site.
Oh. Oh dear, I don't know if we want more of those running around, do we?
We'll go
think
on
so.
some.
Well, I don't know if I'll have a business left to return to, but I would work with you anytime, Devril.
We'll find something. Thank you.
Of course.
I've enjoyed our renewed friendship. I don't know if more or not.
Renewed.
Sometimes it feels like more.
Well, you have been, even if you don't remember, you have always done well to lift me up in some of my more despairing moments, so would like to return the favor when I can.
We do. Appreciate it.
Yes. So she'll just walk with you. If you want to talk about random stuff.
Yeah. It was small
Plans
talk,
of-
but nothing.
Plans of a new Fusor as your stone empire.
I mean, seriously, it could be really cool.
Plans the continent.
Animantine workers and stuff. I mean, cheap labor.
Mhm.
I mean, offset cost in the beginning, but over time, you get your money back.
I think Arthur would have liked that.
Yeah, we'll get that from Edge 4. Anyways, we'll discuss.
During that time, Mike, you got a bless.
Wow, thank you. I feel blessed.
I think just hyper vigilant for any signs of danger and making sure we're going the right way, that kind of thing.
Roll a perception check.
Same. Can I as well?
Yep.
Um,
Let's roll with a d20 too.
I think I did last time.
I think it was Winnie
I-
and
Yeah,
Rachel,
I think
right?
we did. Yeah, so one of you
I
guys.
think you
can.
both got the fort, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, we got two of the same
Yes.
one. That's right. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use my reroll.
Okay.
First of all, that's much better. 20, the perception.
I got 14.
Who's rolling the d20?
Yeah, I guess it's about time I do my part.
Do
it,
I've been
do
so
it.
scared to do
Say
it.
it's your Mike, probably.
Not the green one. Look, dice towered up.
I wish you get a
I
nat
do
20.
think we're still traveling near the shore if we can. If there is a shore.
17.
Okay.
17.
Interesting.
Bring on the 17 ice giants.
More.
17 of them.
So
Yeah.
it's
Oh my god.
only a couple hours, to get to Icewall from where you are. The pathway there is definitely a little more kind of like weathered over. The does not look like this has been cared for in quite some time. There's still like posts that mark kind of the general path as you go. So if you guys want to deviate from the path, you're welcome to.
Oh.
Happen.
That's
But-
great.
There's still like posts that are kind of lining the way. Don't get lost.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
keep
Yeah, I
it
think
up.
we'd stay on the path.
I think my neighbor just tried to connect to my TV.
I was wondering
Like-
what
Nope.
the expressions were for.
Girl.
Yeah, it's uneventful 2 hours. It's cold,
Okay.
cold, sunny, uneventful. And as you do, you kind of get closer and closer to little small town of Icewall that is along the coast, up on the water's edge. Dab, you definitely have been here before. See it a little bit in the distance. Where would you guys like to head there?
If Dav knows the area, would he know where to go?
Yeah.
You're saying like what, in the town or
Yeah, if you guys are going to a
Okay.
specific place or going up.
the people that housed them, would they be on the outskirts coming into the town, or would they be like we'd have to get into the main part and then they'd be somewhere else?
It's a rather small place, so you're kind of just like going into town if
Just
you were
there,
going
yeah.
into town.
What else would be there besides like maybe some sort of inn? So curious.
So there's a rather small inn. Doesn't look like they get many visitors up here. There is kind of a docks area where you could fish from or do other kind of stuff. And there's a few like farmer-ish type people who they're doing a little bit of cold weather farming out here.
Guess. Oh my gosh. I'm guessing it's like okay, I can block them. Cool. It's like 3 times they're trying to. I must have the same sort of TV. How late in the day is it? Like,
By this point it's probably midday, a little after.
probably. I think just since it is such a small town, go ahead and see the house. Try and find the house. There was a couple that took them in.
So you head over there, and the house is still standing. It looks like it is still occupied by somebody. Got a little smoke coming out of the chimney.
Do you guys mind if I check in real quick?
Please.
Yes, that'd be just fine.
I can't have notes on me right now. I'm trying to remember the names. Okay, I do have it. Yeah. Okay.
I was just say pops, and then all I could think of was attic.
Yes,
And
pops.
Wynn's going, "Hey, pops."
Winnie, by the way, just for what it's worth, the night that they let me stay here, I was gonna leave, but they forced me to stay. I was a little too hurt. The couple were followers of Dalmanet,
Oh.
and that's when she
Good, that's
visited me.
Oh. It's a coincidence, isn't it?
I don't think it is.
Oh.
At least, I'm sorry to
If she
believe
actually
it's
talked,
not.
if she actually talked to you, she's not talked to me yet, so that's exciting. I bet if you wanted to become a cleric of her, she would absolutely let you.
Might be a little easier. I don't know. I don't know if she'd take me. Might not be wise enough.
She hasn't even introduced herself to me. I'm already evangelizing. Look at me.
I'm the best cleric ever.
Wow, I'm doing great. Hopefully she'll visit me now.
You've been
Maybe she'll
blessed
actually talk to me.
by multiple little dragons.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think she talked to me in a different way. But her appearing to you in a dream is not nothing. So I think, I don't know. I don't know what it
She
exactly means, but it's nice to know that it feels like we're kind of on the right path, right?
took me a while to realize. A while. But she had already known that blade singing was the best route for me.
Hmm.
Annoyingly so. I thought she was taunting me.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know, you can try and reach out to her tonight and see if being back here, feel some sort of connection again if you wanted answers. I don't know if she would, but at least you could try if you wanted.
Not a bad idea. Just want to let you know this is the place it happened.
Oh, thank you. I'll see if I sense anything spiritual. Not that I'm very good at it, but I can try.
Well, let's see if there's anybody here to say thank you to. I'll go up and just knock on the door.
Wait a few moments, and the door slowly creaks open. Standing before you is a small, kind of hunched over elderly woman, recognized to be Irma, cared for you.
She's alive.
Wasn't expecting that.
That's fun.
She looks up at you and huge smile that comes across her face. Oh, you're back. Davril, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you? I see you have your friends with you as well. Wonderful. Please come in out of the cold.
I do, yeah. It's surprising I made friends. I'm not as gruff as I was before. This is Eleonora, Euphemia, Winnie. Winnie's a new cleric of Dalmanet, by the way.
Yeah.
Wonderful to hear.
Mhm.
Please come in. She'll kind of slowly step out of the way.
Wait for you guys to go in.
Aw.
She's very slow moving at this point.
Yeah, how old does she look? Like
Old.
old.
She's old.
My note said old people, and this was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
She's very old.
Older.
She'll start like moving towards some chairs to like slide them to be places you guys can sit.
That will go over and move on for her.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. She'll reach up and squeeze your bicep and say, "How strong?"
I've been trying. It's mostly the armor. I don't know how rude this is. Is your husband here as well? Howard?
Howard passed away a few weeks back.
I'm sorry.
All right. I'm getting along here. Oh, good to see you're back and well with travels. What brings you here?
Uh, uh,
She does kind of look at the big metal man you have with you.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She comes in
They're
the
like
house.
crammed in to the living room.
Life, faith brought me here. Wasn't really planning on it, but I'm glad that we did. But we're traveling our way up to Northport. Thought we'd drop in.
Ah, well, we're quite away from Northport. Really out of the way to travel up here.
Yeah, like I said, wasn't 100% planned, but
Once you hit the
We-
cold roads, you went too far north.
that's where that phrase comes from. Yeah, okay. um, is this? I know this is home for you, but would this is where you'd want to stay? It'd be better for you in warmer climate.
I quite enjoy it. I believe the cold has kept me alive longer.
That's fair. Um, well, I really just wanted to stop by and say thank you properly. And I was quite angry last time, and that was unfair to you.
How about a meal? Would you like some food? Some lunch? I have a fish stew prepared.
Your fish stew was divine. It'd be much appreciated.
Slowly walk her way over towards the kitchen to grab some bowls.
Let me help you with that.
And pots that she gets out and puts over the fire and that going.
Can I while they're hanging out, can I look around the house? Is it well kept still, or does it seem like she might be struggling a little bit, or
It's small place, little 2-room shack. You do notice there are a few decorative things that look like they're Dalmanet related that hung around. But I mean, she looks like she does okay.
okay.
Oh,
I was gonna assist her in every way he can, with grabbing
Yes.
bowls and cutting up stuff for her. Like, you can go sit down if you want. If you just want to tell me what to do.
Oh no, you're the guest. Let me help you. But yeah, she'll just kind of ask about all of you guys if you want to share anything. Narrative.
Yeah, if anyone else wants to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could probably tell her one Monster Hunter group,
Mhm.
sort
Ah.
of what we've been doing.
Wonderful.
Yes. Yes. So we kind of have our eye on a few. We've heard that Alpha Yeti might be out around in the area. I don't know if you've heard of anything about that. The new rumors around town or anything.
Quite dangerous, scary beasts. I couldn't imagine trying to go after those. You are all so brave.
Yes.
Have you ever seen one?
Oh, I don't feel like I would still be alive if I had.
Oh, yes.
Good to know.
I don't know. I think you're tougher than that.
Perhaps in my younger years. Yes.
Yes, were you in a temple or anything? You're a follower of Domine or an actual cleric or what?
I have followed Dalmanet nearly my whole life.
Oh.
offered general done me well.
He ever appeared to you? Spoken to you or anything? Showed any signs?
No,
How did you become a follower of Domine?
believe that tenets that she stands for or admirable the way I try to live my life. Your friend here is a follower, correct?
Yes, rather new. Cleric, but yeah, rather new.
Ah, cleric, that is wonderful.
Yeah,
Very good one.
I need a healing. Well, trying to be. But
Help keep your friends well and
Mhm.
healthy. That is wonderful.
yeah.
Irma, the night you guys found me, I ended up having a vision of Domine.
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
That was creepy.
That's so mystical.
Sorry, I had to reload my Twitch because it got
Oh.
weird and it like wasn't letting me do anything, and so I forgot my volume turned up randomly. I'm sorry. So it was you talking to you.
Timing was so.
That was pretty
Oh,
great.
Girl,
Hands down, like I'm here.
like, did Mark just pull off something creepy?
I'm
Like,
sorry, that was me. I'm sorry. It was it was perfect timing. on
That was
Twitch's part.
so funny.
wow, delighted.
that was magical.
I know.
Oh my
A
god.
couple weeks ago.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
What was the question?
I'm sorry.
More of a statement. Sorry, there's an echo up here. It's very.
Magical.
It's a beautiful kitchen though, but yeah, this one spot just echoes a little bit. No, I was gonna say I ended up having a dream or a vision of Domine that night, and even though it wasn't well received at the time, over time, it changed my perspective on a lot of things. And I'm happy that I had a chance to come back and say thank you.
Well, Dalbane is definitely a unique. Glad that she was able to help you. Definitely more of a whimsical one that is easy to figure out or understand in all cases. I do hope her words helped set you on the path you're on now. Help people.
They have. I know this is kind of a lot to ask, but it meant a lot to me at the time. I might have stolen a symbol of Dalmine when I left.
That's what you asked for. Gave it to you.
Okay. Good, I couldn't remember. But it,
He assumes the worst about himself.
no, yeah, totally. He doesn't remember that much. It got stolen from me and I lost it. I wasn't sure if you had an extra.
May I take any that you desire.
Just a small one.
And they'll go and grab so go to a drawer and pull it out and reach inside and hand it to you. And
Thank you.
as you look at it, it's a very like nice silver jewel or not silver, the silver like surrounding a amethyst side of it. Very, very nicely crafted jewelry.
I don't need something this nice.
What good is it gonna be for me? I'll be in the grave shortly anyway.
Oh,
Better in your hands, young one.
I don't know. I don't know. I think you might outlive me the way things are going.
I doubt that.
Give
Those
her a hug.
muscles, and she'll squeeze your arm again.
I just give her a hug and say thank you.
Mark's
Let's,
channeling my grandma.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's sit down and eat. I'd like to hear plenty of stories you have to tell of you and Howard and your time up here in Ice Wall.
Yeah, she'll help dish up food for all of you. Yeah, anything you guys want to talk about specifically?
Sorry, this is reading what Kelly wrote in chat. So good. If Domine appearing to someone, that is a rare thing then?
Extremely, from what I've heard.
So you're saying she's a bit whimsical. You don't have a suspicion of why she would have done that for him?
I'm not certain. I prayed for him. I don't. My doing that. Perhaps she heard my prayers that evening. Came to visit you.
I was gonna say I overheard you praying a very nice prayer about me. I think it was a very pure one.
Truly tragic what happened to you. For that, I'm sorry.
It just came from our settlement. It was quite jarring.
Heard rumors there were people there again. Is that true?
I was gonna ask you if you saw anybody come to town for supplies or anything.
There were two who were living here for a while. Utrix and Azarini, they were living here. And then 2 years back they left. Dude, I don't know if they went back or where else. They came back a while after everything happened with you. Here for a while. Went out. Where else? Hey, out of the blue.
How long ago was that?
They left? Oh, it must have been at least 3-4 years ago. I'm not quite certain on the date exactly.
I'm just making sure I understand that. That was, you said, not like when they. So obviously they survived. So that was a little bit after that, and then they went up to the settlement, and then they came back and then left again. As you're saying, that was a couple years ago, right?
So, she didn't say anything about them going to the settlement. She doesn't know if they did or did
Yeah.
not. She didn't say that. But they came to Icewall 3-4 years ago, and then they left. Weird. And
Okay.
recently, she's heard that people are back out at the settlement.
Gotcha.
Did she say how long they stayed at Icewall? Sorry. Like a few years or just like briefly?
It was short.
I can ever
short
ask.
time.
Oh, short time.
Long.
Did they happen to ask around about any other survivors? Like they might have found out Dara lives.
There are some signs that people had gone back to the settlement, but we found signs that they've probably migrated to a new spot as well.
Who would want to live there at this point? But it was quite a ruin. Horrific history.
I mean, good real estate.
It was the. I know the settlement has a bit of a reputation occasionally. Were they accepted in Icewall when they came, or are they regarded with suspicion?
Well, I think that there were always people who thought beliefs were a bit odd. You were always welcome here. My husband would always bring out supplies as
Very nice of you. Do you know if they interacted with anyone else in town? Spend a lot of time with?
I believe they talked too many. They were most souths. And a very short visit.
Only to get supplies. Are you familiar with the location of
Alder's Vault.
Alder's Vault? Thank you.
Oh, there's a vault there. That is a good legend of one of the creators of our plane. Had a place that he stored her or his belongings somewhere not too far from here, as far as I know. A little ways away, so that not everyone can get to it. Somewhere up north in Petron. Many of his belongings, valuables, treasures. I don't know how much of it is true.
Interesting.
Some people believe it's out there waiting to be found.
Very interesting.
Do you ever have any adventurers or monster hunters attempting to find it or coming through this way at all?
Yeah.
Sure, there are some who come through. Typically not one you advertise for, trying to be a looter of.
Oh, that's a very good point. Yes.
But I'm sure that Aldor has magical defenses on Alt that I certainly would not want to face.
Yes. Interesting. Do you have you lived here in this plane your whole life?
Lived here, yes, my whole life.
Do you happen to know if any of the other creators are known to have a vault of their own too? This seems to be the second that I have heard of.
I believe all of them likely have some place to store their valuables.
Interesting. Yes, I think you're right. She just looks like she's thinking. We've got Ember Vault and we have Aldor's Vault now.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Gotta
You all
loot
thinking
of
of becoming treasure hunters as well?
Oh,
No, but we've, in our short time as monster hunters, have come across other information that relates to one of the creators. And for one of the teachings that you and Dalmany taught me, that coincidences aren't usually just coincidences.
Perhaps. Dalmany is the god of luck Perhaps there is a path being laid for you.
Irma, you do not understand how much luck is on our side at times. We have barely gotten through many a situation by sheer luck alone.
Eleanor just takes a long drink, looking like she disagrees entirely with that statement. She doesn't say anything.
Winnie's just like thinking like, yeah, kind of looking
I
up
mean,
and thinking of our past
We're,
experience.
he just looked at. We're here at this table right now. I think that's sheer luck.
It's a positive perspective, Davril.
I didn't know you were a
Same.
glass half full person. That's nice.
Of course, magic's fun. Magic's amazing. Magic can be done with, used for good things, even if bad things happen every time you cast a spell. Always 10 on the half glass full side. Could find free food if you look for it. You know, things like that.
Well, you'll always have a meal here if you
Ah,
would need one.
I'll never take advantage of you, ma'am.
No trouble. Nice to have some people to talk to.
Still to this day, my favorite fish stew. This is so good.
Beautiful family recipe.
I guess, do you have any other family around, Emma?
Not. You know.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It is alright. I'll be reunited with my loved ones when I am gone.
Have you felt anything different in the last few months in your prayers to Damone at all?
Really know I feel a ton. Offering up my prayers to her and hoping for the best for everyone around here. Ice Wall and pray for you many times, Davril. That night you still with you, which is
Thank you.
It seems it has carried on to all of us, as there have been a few times she has intervened to help us. So we are grateful to her, and to you by extension.
well, it is not me, sir. Glad she looks out for you.
And just to be clear, do you have magical abilities with her, or do you
I do not.
follow her? Oh, right. I wasn't sure if how that worked. I can't think of any other questions. Is there anyone in town that might know a bit more about the surrounding area or anything
That's
that
a
we
good
might
question.
talk to?
Yeah.
Well, I do know quite a bit from husband, Howard, as he travel around. Questions I can certainly try to answer. I think most people here are fishermen or farmers, other dock hands. They don't leave town much. They stay here typically.
How about this? If it were up to you, and based on the stories or the information you've gathered from growing up here or from Howard's travels, if you were a wizard and were to put a vault, where do you think the best place to put one would be, based on your knowledge?
Well, I guess the question is, do you want it to be found or not found? If you don't want it to be found, I'd put it in a quite inaccessible place. Only you could get to.
It's a valid point. Did you were gonna say? I didn't want to interrupt you if you had a train of thought before I say something. Do you have you heard of any areas where yetis seem to congregate or anything?
I've heard they can be many places. The wilds. Heard stories of unfortunate travelers, yetis. Roads. Thankfully,
even on
more
the road.
rare. Has happened. I believe they are further inland, though, maybe closer to the mountains.
I see. All right. That's good to know. Have you heard much about alpha yetis in general? I know you said they're dangerous.
Dangerous and rare, thankfully. Typically are the leaders of a group of them, or strongest of a group. I do not want to encounter one.
So they may be with a group potentially if they were to be encountered.
I would assume so. With at least a couple.
And are frost giants, do they tend to be in the same areas as yetis, or is that a little different?
Well, from what I've heard, yetis sometimes can be subservient to the frost giants. Work with them and serve them.
Interesting. Have you heard as to why that is? Are they just weaker?
Yes, frost giants are far more dangerous.
I see. Interesting.
Yetis are a bit more bestial in nature, whereas frost giants have more intellect. Depends on the ones you encounter. Some can be quite cruel or cold, depending on the ones you encounter.
That was a good one, Irma.
It's clever. All right, that's helpful. That's very helpful. Do you know if there are any ships about that sail in these waters, or is it too dangerous?
Good question.
Yes, we do have ships that come here occasionally.
Is there any
Those-
kind of schedule?
I don't know the schedule, but you have fishermen who fish the waters nearby, and occasionally we get shipments from places, port, I believe. None recently.
Yes.
Heard there's been commotion there.
Yes, the city is not faring well. Sounds like they're trying to get it under control. Are there shipments out to Greyspire ever?
Occasionally, yes.
Alright. Interesting. Do they ever take passengers?
Perhaps.
Is there someone here in town we could speak to that handles kind of the comings and goings there. Somebody at the docks, maybe.
Yes, I would assume that would be the place to go.
Interesting.
Do you know who the current dockmaster is?
Dockmaster. That would be good old Benlin.
Uh,
You know him?
Everybody here.
Oh, I was asking you Dab because he went, like he knew him, like
it's a
it
good
was like a
name.
recognition. Oh, all right.
Yes.
All right.
Benlin.
And then I'm sure I know you said most of this town is fishermen and farmers and such. Is there anyone here that does magic or has any abilities like that?
Potentially some of the farmers may know some magics to help their plants grow. Really know of much strong out here.
Sure. Which makes sense.
We don't really do a lot of that sort of thing out here. We're rather simple folk out here.
Probably for the best, especially considering the dangers of magic.
Yes, since then we've had to be very careful.
Yes. Yes. I like looking through the others. I'm trying to think of other questions we had about the area that I might be missing, but
No, the ship was the one I was thinking of. Yeah. I think that's it.
I can't think of anything else. Just kind of small
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah, she'll fill up your bowls with as much fish soup you guys want.
oh, it's
Eat
so
to your fill.
nice. It's probably so nice to have a meal too,
Mhm.
like
Like a warm meal
Warm.
after.
a warm
Freezing
meal.
Yeah, in the
yeah.
heat.
It is very nice not to be cold. So thank you for offering your hospitality.
Glad to have you. And you're all welcome here anytime. So long as I'm still here, of course. But yes, welcome to come visit whenever you'd like.
Oh man.
Well, thank you so much. We don't need to, overstay our welcome. We can go to the inn tonight if you'd like.
Absolutely not.
I know better not to fight you.
So
on it.
definitive, yes. I'm terrified to say
Say it.
no.
In like some common traveler. No, you are fine guests here. You will be staying here and taken care of.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Perhaps you or your metal friend can help set up the cots.
Metal friend.
I don't know if he'll help. He's not really one to help, but we can do it.
Yes, we can all help
We're
you as
happy
much
to.
as you need, yes.
Oh, wonderful. So she'll give directions on what to do. Everything's set up. You guys plan on staying here tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I
Right?
think so. I think
It's not like very late though, is it? Right now.
That's like midday right now.
Yeah.
We'll pass midday now with lunch.
oh yeah, true.
I was thinking it was like afternoon. Okay.
So, I mean, I would maybe go talk to the dock person or something.
Yeah.
We could go do a little.
Yeah, we
snooping,
can do a couple
come
things
back.
in town.
Mm-hmm.
We'll ask her if there's like a shop for like anything, especially for like winter survival, like traveling and stuff.
So they aren't like having a ton of stuff. Um, so much a shopping town, you know what I mean?
Right.
Mhm.
This is more like people come out here and they live their lives, and utility
Mhm.
town. It's not like tourists will come out here. So
Any survival gear that would benefit us that we maybe don't have already.
not for sale.
Yeah.
Not again like there's shops for you to buy stuff at. Kind of like people
People
ship
probably
stuff and
work
that's about it.
together. Yeah. Work together to
Or they
make
trade,
something. Yeah.
bartering, that kind of stuff. Not really a store for you to go buy things. You'd maybe ask somebody to buy something from them, but you'd have to know they have it even.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
But yeah, you can go visit Benlin. Like, anything you'd like to ask of him?
Maybe like the schedule for ships slash if it's possible for passengers and how much that would cost and stuff.
Yeah.
So you looking to go to Greyspire? Is that where you're?
It would be a thought. I don't know what other places there is. Just somewhere close, I guess, to Northport, or
Or even
gets us closer.
Yeah,
how
I'd assume
close
they're not
north
going
they're willing to go.
directly to
Mhm.
Northport, so at this point.
So yeah, they don't really send any ships to Northport, or Northport doesn't send ships to them at this point.
Correct.
Greyspire is pretty rare. Go up. There are fishermen who kind of fish local waters. Like to try to convince one of them to take you somewhere. That could be an option, but up to you.
But they would fish local waters, not necessarily like a whole ship journey.
So if you are looking to ask somebody, like, you could try to convince a local fisherman to take you maybe to Greyspire, but otherwise you're kind of waiting for
Like,
other
When
people.
something would randomly show up. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Do you want to check with one of the fishermen?
Is there, I mean, do we know, would the dockmaster know if there's anybody that has a vessel that would be likely to, like, make it or is suitable for a longer travel like that?
He can recommend a person to try. If you want to.
Yeah. We'll start
Um,
with them, maybe.
Just so we don't waste our time with the
Right.
like, would Benlin have an idea of a price point that would persuade a fisherman to do that? Because we
so
only have so many
yeah,
funds.
he looks at you and says, so generally, I think it would take about 3-ish days to get to Greyspire, depending on the journey, how well the waters are for you. And I think total, the whole thing, it'd probably be 40 gold per person.
Okay.
40.
So 120.
Oh,
That would
got a
be.
big metal man there.
Oh, yeah, that's
5
right.
people.
Oh.
Thank you. I'll like we could finish up the conversation
Right.
and then after the conversation I just
Yeah.
go, that would be all our money, like all of
Yeah.
it. So
Oh.
I'm not sure if that's an option unless we can find more.
Right.
Well, do we want to stay the night here? And I don't know. I guess we can plan to go on foot.
I mean, we could go on foot directly across and keep going how we've been going. Or is it... How far is it again to Angel's Light? We talked about that a little bit.
Like 5
Yeah,
days, I
no.
think.
5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think someone there could teleport us even?
How big of a city is that, Mark?
Angel's Light.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a little smaller because it's a little out of the way. Bigger than Icewall, but it's
Okay.
not massive like Northport or Heaven's Reach or Lakeside. Be a little smaller than those, probably.
Mhm.
Probably more of the size of like a Edgeford or Midrock type of a thing.
Okay.
Bigger than Everborn, though, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right. Okay.
And rough calculations on a map, if you were trying to walk all the way to Greyspire, that could probably be upwards of like 10 plus days, depending on, again, how well travel goes.
Right.
3 days by boat from Icewall to Greyspire, 10 days walking, plus 10 plus, 5 down to Angel's Light. Seeing if that will lead anywhere if you have to go somewhere else. There.
Well, all right. There's a couple ideas, so you can think about it. First option, we can simply walk. Second option, we take a risk and spend all our money on a boat. Not my favorite option. Third option, we see if Edison is willing to help us out. But I don't want to extend on hospitality too much with that. But it's thought. And the last option could be we see if we can get an Alpha Yeti while we're up here. The only problem is that it doesn't seem like there's anything we can buy in terms of supplies, so survival is still not great if we take to the road here or go hunting.
We would be more likely to find an Alpha Yeti, I think, on the if we were to travel down towards Angel's Light with the mountains.
But I mean, the problem is I don't know. I mean, unless Irma knows of someone that we can buy some better supplies from or extra firewood or something, we won't survive the journey.
Yeah.
There. It's
I
a
feel like they have
miracle.
to have firewood we could buy, right?
What?
I feel like they have to have firewood we could buy, right? So that's gotta be a thing around here.
Perhaps. If supply is limited, maybe not. I mean, it sort of depends on what they're willing to part with and how much money that will cost.
I guess right now it sounds like then we always ask Edison and see how kind of probe and see how he reacts, or sounds like Angel's Light might be the best option if not. Unless we're concerned about that, or we want to make sure we can get there as fast as possible. But...
Mark, if we fast track a quick, asking Irma about buying something to survive travel, where, if she would know anyone, or roughly how much, or anything like that.
What do you mean by to survive travel?
Like what we were just talking about with firewood or anything that will help us. Because right now, if we just walk out of Icewall, we will die unless we happen to find more firewood.
Like a heavier coat or gear.
Yeah.
Winter.
I mean, you guys got your winter gear. You could carry some bundles. Each of you firewood and try to ration it a little bit as you go to keep the fire low and see if it would be all the way there.
I mean, Dav made it once, right? From Icewall to Angel's Light.
Yeah, I mean, it's doable. The one thing that I think is Dav would maybe be aware of this a little more too is the road is almost like protected a bit from too extreme of elements. Well,
Oh,
Kind of wondering
okay.
that.
you keep to the road, protected from incredibly harsh things. At least that's what it's intended to be. May not
Right.
be completely functional, but that is
Okay.
the intention.
That's good to know, though. So we wouldn't maybe need quite as much as if we were earlier wandering around.
As far as you know,
Right.
you'd hope that one.
I'd say that if we don't want to ask Edison, I think that sounds like the best option, but it's just me.
What do you think, Euphemia?
I don't know. I feel like because it's not related to the case, I don't feel as good about asking him. But I think we also I could, if we really think that's the best option. I also wonder how much he can risk with teleporting, being gone, and that sort of thing. I'm not sure. If there's some, if there's a way he could even be at risk being found closer to Northport or anything like that, I don't know.
So you're saying no then?
If there's another way, but if it's not looking as likely, then I could ask. I would feel better about it if it was getting us somewhere with that, with what we agreed to handle.
I mean, I think you are the one who has the biggest time crunch here. So that is, I think, what's in balance. So if you are right with taking the time to go on foot, then that is fine with me.
I think if we can make a decision tomorrow, maybe. I need a little time.
Sure. And we have the day here to restock and settle in, rest a bit from the trying temperatures.
Yeah, I think I would like to think about it a little more. I'm not opposed to asking him. I want to be sure that is the best move if we go that way,
Yes. I think that's why we're leaving it up to you, because I think the rest of us can have a bit of a holding pattern that is not as dire, at least.
Sure. Maybe it would even be prudent to talk to him at some point. I'll gather my thoughts first.
Sure, we can talk to him whenever. We can talk to him tonight if you want. Even to see how he feels about it. I mean, having a discussion to figure out options is not a bad thing.
Yeah, I wonder if that might be the best move.
So you just let me know when you want to.
All right.
We could do it
Give me a
right
bit.
now if you want to.
Yeah.
All right.
She looks like she is definitely chewing on a few things. So she's like, give me a little bit of time and I'll do you.
But as for the rest of the day, I think
Yeah.
finding maybe potential thoughts of like where we'd get firewood. I mean, we don't know if we're gonna use it yet, so
I was gonna say even checking the inn if there's any like news of any Alpha Yeti spottings or anything like that. You know, like if there's anybody that said they've seen them on the road or.
Yeah, it's basically all locals here, so
Okay.
got anything but stories of like, I heard there was these group of travelers who totally ripped apart and they found bits of them all over the road. And
oh my god.
Oh dear.
stories like that, but nothing that's like, yeah, I know exactly where they live or their cave or anything like that. Yeah, you guys just hanging out in the afternoon, gathering some supplies, maybe some firewood.
Yeah.
There are some bundles of firewood that you can purchase from some people. Like, all bundled up and ready for easy travel, split and everything.
Whoa.
That's pretty nice.
Pretty good. How many do you want?
Would it be like
Is
one per night type of thing?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a bundle
probably
counts
one.
as a night.
So 5. I guess,
5?
5 bundles?
maybe. Depends on how much they
Ew.
cost.
Yeah, how much are they per bundle?
So for the 5 total, they will. I'm trying to look for a comparable thing. Do they have?
Don't look it up because it's always 4,000 more times expensive
Yeah.
than it seems normal.
I'm gonna look.
Just saying.
Especially for a consumable.
Yes.
Oy.
I'll be salty if it's super expensive.
Let's see if there is
Premium
firewood.
firewood.
4,000 gold.
Doesn't just firewood in here. I don't see it. We will go ahead and say 10 gold for all of them.
All of it? That's beautiful.
Yep. I looked at a barrel, and the barrel is 2 gold, and I multiplied that by 5. So
Oh, there we go.
Barrel's made of wood.
Yep.
I feel like it probably would be good just to buy it no matter what we decide to do,
I'm
because
kind of thinking so.
there's lots of times we're like really needing to make a fire and we don't have anything to make a fire with. So
Yeah.
okay. Perfect.
I would
I'll just
say
buy it then.
We can afford
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Purchase. Cha-ching!
I bet Ira won't carry one, so one of us has to carry 2. I can carry 2. I have more strength. I can carry.
Ira's not been very helpful with the firewood
No.
at all.
deal with it. It doesn't work for you.
Beep, deal with it. Beep, beep.
Beep boop, deal with it.
Beep, boop, deal with it. I'm still waiting for Mark to say beep, boop, but he won't do it.
It'll
Doesn't work
come
for
when we
you.
least
He doesn't
expect
perform
it.
for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
You inquired about stuff. You bought some firewood. You guys have plenty of food. Anything else you want to do before major? I guess if you guys are talking to Edison tonight, or if you want to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm leaving. What are you doing, Effie?
Wait.
Yeah, I would
or-
say. Yeah, she'll just kind of walk around with you guys and get all that stuff. She's clearly a little bit distracted thinking about it. I would say maybe by the time we get back to Irma's, if we're ready to head back over there, would it be like dinnerish time, or just late afternoon, or?
Yeah, late afternoon dinner. Depends on how quick you guys want to go around doing stuff, but
Okay. Yeah, I think before we go inside, she'd even like tug Eleanor's sleeve and be like, I guess maybe we'll touch base with him. I wonder if he would even come here to talk a little more.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I think out of everyone, you are the best person to figure out where he is at. I mean, I would hope he knows by now we're not trying to use him. I think he would know that, especially from you.
I would hope so. She like gestures at like your bag or whatever with your book, because I'm assuming you don't have it out right now.
Yeah.
She's like, it's hard to do this way. I know it's useful. I don't like it.
I don't either.
But I'm glad you have it, at least. So thank you.
It's better
for
than
being
nothing.
willing. Yeah.
Yes. But no, it's unpleasant, certainly. I do not enjoy talking to my son in this way either. But again, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Would you like to do that here?
Yeah. Is that okay?
It's fine. We'll like go find like a corner where like there's no like villagers around and we're just like outside.
I'm sure Ira's already
with you.
following.
Yeah, Ira's there, yeah.
Yep.
There he is.
Makes sense.
Flying.
The most suspicious people, he's like, will follow.
We're so suspicious.
You just hear, Dabsy's like attempting to be like, oh, I'm gonna go over there and, try and cast this spell so you don't see me and convince them to work. Just come on, man.
Steal a chicken or something.
I'm gonna jaywalk. I'm just gathering wood, man.
So as you two go off, you go talk to Edison. Spend there tonight. That
Whoa.
next week.
I didn't think you'd end on a cliffhanger to talk to
It's getting late. I think it's time to end. So we'll end there. We'll get into that conversation next time.
Okay.
So, you can think about it a little bit. You get a week to think about what you want to say, how you want to try to persuade him to maybe help out. Use up how many spells? Teleport here, there, and everywhere else.
Yep.
Edison, but do you love us still?
If he wanted to, he would. So.
Edison, are you a fan of Mishaps? Do you want us to get the action going so we can get to your story? Or do you want to watch us travel for a couple sessions, buddy?
And this is how Edison... After feeling used and...
Right?
She's just dating me for that.
That's all.
He puts in the notebook like we need to talk or something. You're
like half the times you contact him is, hey, can we use your hat? Hey, can we use your hat?
Okay.
So
that's his hang up right now.
Yeah.
There's someone at the watch light being like, buddy, they're a hat digger. They're just trying to get you for it. I've seen it happen.
That just date them for their hats.
Yep. They're using you for that level 7 spell right there. You gotta get out of there.
The way Edison could break up, he just gives her the hat. He's like, "That's all you wanted, wasn't it?" Goodbye.
And then runs away.
That might be his job gone at that point.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh my gosh.
All right, but we'll end there. We'll be back next week with more of this game. Session 90 next week. Crazy, we'll be in the 90s and see where things go. As a lot upcoming. A lot of things upcoming.
So many things to do.
Big things. So
Some
end a recording.
pathways.
Go raid somebody. So stick around for that. But we love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you all so much. Have a great week. And hopefully you can come by Saturday. Stream our channel. Love to see you there.